This is Tori with your weather report brought to you by Target Zero. The rain's going to lighten up a little bit today, getting occasional sun breaks in between. It's currently 43 downtown Seattle, and highs will stay in the upper 40s. Drunk you doesn't make good decisions, so make a plan before you party and make sure to get home safe and sound. Let's reach our Target Zero goal together. 0 traffic deaths in your family, 0 traffic deaths in our state. Now back to Danny Bonaducci and Sarah on 102.5 KZOK. Okay.
You know, I've put a lot of stuff in my mouth. It is 5:46. I'm Danny Bonaducci. This is KZOK. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Fabulous. How are you?
I'm well, thank you, Paul. How are you?
I'm great, thanks.
Good. Hey, Derek, where the hell were you yesterday?
You know, I didn't want to say anything because I'm just so humble, but I was at the Grammys. I was nominated for Best Live Kazoo Performance.
Is that right?
It's
Yes, when
true.
you're humble. I get it.
Is it a I don't want to tell you thing, or is he just being super weird?
I think both.
Are you being super weird?
No, I just had some family stuff, you know?
Oh, okay.
Extended family that I don't see very often was in town, so.
Kazoo playing. You know, and by the way, I don't believe, I had extended family in town any more than I believe the kazoo thing.
No.
Well, maybe a little of both. Maybe I played kazoo for my family.
What the hell is the matter with you? Just make up something believable. I didn't feel good. I had a stomach virus. My sister caught fire. Whatever. The cat got out.
His sister was
like it.
totally on fire.
See?
He doesn't have any siblings, but that
Because they
still
catch
believable.
fire.
They all burned.
Sarah. All right, well.
I thought that was creative. A for effort.
And I didn't win either. This chick who from Tampa did a rendition of Black Dog. That's like a 12-minute song. That chick can blow into the plastic. She didn't even pause to take a breath. She deserved the award.
I think he's sticking with it, man.
Is that what he's going to go with? And as the executive producer of this.
Yeah.
You think,
Should I turn his mic off?
No, I think no, never turn mics on. I think that's always a bad idea. All right. Wow. I'm sorry you didn't win, man.
Thank you, Danny.
All right, Tori.
Maybe next year.
How are you, Tori?
I'm doing great.
Anything
thank you.
weird?
I still
You
have
don't
all my
have
pets.
to. It's not a prerequisite that something weird happened. So what happened?
I was thinking that my hamster was going to die the other day. I will be honest.
I'm sorry to hear that. I was going to make a joke. You could have stopped it. I was thinking. It's a radio. He's playing kazoo for a Grammy, and I can't say Tori was thinking.
Do you think,
I think I can.
Do you think Tori did a preemptive strike and just put it right in the
I
freezer?
think that's exactly. Yeah. Oh, man, it moaned a little bit.
Tori, by the way, posted to Facebook, her own Facebook page, that she's looking for a rat.
I am.
Why?
Because they're supposedly actually really smart creatures.
Yeah, most people I know, not most, I guess, but a ton of people I knew growing up, we all had rats.
Yeah.
Everybody on my block had a rat.
Did you have a rat?
Yeah, they're
That's
great.
super weird, man.
They're super friendly, really nice. Have you ever held a rat up close and personal?
I did when I was in kindergarten.
Did you notice on the back of their tail there's a little claw?
Ew, no. What?
Yeah, that's one of the creepiest things about rats. A little tiny claw
Wow,
on the
I
end of
didn't
their
know
tail. Yeah, you haven't loved rats like I've loved rats.
I have not.
Yeah, a little
We've-
tiny claw.
All of them? It wasn't just a birth defect like Andy Garcia?
No, it's shorter than their like front or rear claws, if you will, but it is nonetheless a little tiny claw, almost like a tiny little beak. Yeah,
Wow.
it's creepy.
Yikes.
But
Tori, you
asi-
still want one?
Yeah, I think that's
Aside
kind of
from that-
cool.
yeah, aside from that, they're great pets. Their poop are little pellets that you can just scoop up on whatever or get one of those handy vacs and vacuum it out. Pee stinks a little bit. You'll have to get used to
they
that.
do.
They actually don't allow you to adopt one by itself. You have to get two because they get lonely.
Oh.
Let me just take this opportunity to say crap. Who doesn't, Tori? The rat police don't let you have 2 rats?
They don't. They wouldn't let me. You have to fill out an application
There's an
now to
actual
get a rat.
adoption agency to adopt rats because I've got
Yes.
plenty of extra ones out on the farm. If you want to stop by, take as many as you like.
Oh God.
She could probably just adopt the band rat.
What's
like
wrong with you?
Everything.
Although I didn't hate that. If I'd have said that, I would have thought that was funny.
Well, so she wants a rat. What have you been putting in your mouth?
Well, I'll be, I'll get you a rat if you want a rat. I'll get you a rat just to prove I can get you a rat.
Yeah.
Oh,
Then you don't have
thank
to get 2 rats. Well, it's not really that much about you, dear. I just think that you said you can't get 2, and I think you're crazy.
Damn the man.
Damn, I will not take that. Kind of abuse. What?
You started the show with you put a lot of things in your mouth.
Yeah. You did
Oh,
say
no,
that.
I am. I stand by that. That's true. Man. Amy, it's the weirdest little signals. Amy and I are a pretty, I kid around with the young lady on the radio show, but I like her and I like being married to her and we're pretty damn happy. But it's funny, the little things married couples can do to kind of set the other one off. I did not mean to do anything. We had pasta. By the way, I should have written it down. Well, you may not know what it is. It's real thick pasta noodles. They look like spaghetti, but they let themselves go, like really fat noodles. And then there's a hole down the center.
Oh yeah. I
Oh
don't like that
my
one.
God, it's so good. I can't tell you.
That one is like a deceiving pasta because
Why?
you think it's something that it's not, and then you realize there's a hole in the middle and it tricked you.
Yes, I do that. Amy cooked it and it was delicious and I loved it. So I was about to take I'm telling her this is the best pasta. If this cost $18 at the restaurant, I'd be very happy with this.
Yeah.
And I said, so I made myself a bite that verged on obscene, but I thought maybe I'll get a good portion of this in my mouth and I'll go yum, 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 and I'll be cute and show her how much I love this pasta. And then she came up and said, let me try. So I had a twirl of spaghetti like around a fork, as big as a baseball. No kidding.
Yeah.
And strands of spaghetti hanging off the baseball. Right? Are you with me? What it
Right,
looks
yeah.
like? So I show it to her, and I don't know what she hesitates. She has weirdness, but now I think you should bite this because I said it's so great. So she puts as much of it as she can get into her mouth, and then I realize when she bites down, all of that's going to fall back into my dinner.
Yeah.
Well, that's gross. I don't know how I feel about that. So with the whole thing of crazy pasta in her mouth, she looks at me like, did you want me to drop like half of this from my mouth into your dinner? And I said, you can bite down. And she bit down it all, fell back into my dinner, and I ate it anyway.
Yeah.
No, that should have been fine, right?
That's true love right there.
She noticed that I hesitated.
Oh.
You didn't want me to drop that pasta back into that. And I'm thinking I should just say, no, I didn't. It's gross. It came from your mouth into my plate. That's gross. You're gross. Everybody's gross. Don't touch my food. But I said, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't care at all. Because we have a gross expression that I can't tell you. But one time she asked me to try on a shoe of hers or something that was too big, and she was wearing it. She took it off, and she said, try this on. And I looked at her for I don't know what reason, and she said, don't worry, I was wearing a sock. And I said, well, I wouldn't care if you blanked in it. And that's now an expression we say in our house. Hey, I want a sip of this? I wouldn't care if you blanked in it. Give me that. So blanking is not that much more gross than whatever horrible weird thing took old spaghetti from her lips to my dinner, but I ate it and apparently not fast enough and with not enough joy. Why don't you just lay down your back and I'll eat that spaghetti from your lips just to show you how much I love you. So there was a brief moment of contentious in my house.
But you were able to work past
We
it.
did.
She's
We're still,
okay.
yeah, she'll be fine. I think.
What
So
if it was like that movie, the cartoon where they each are eating the spaghetti?
Oh, Lady and the Tramp.
Yeah.
Would you do that?
Well, I've done that. You haven't done that.
Eating
She hasn't done that. She hasn't even seen the
Eating
movie.
spaghetti- no.
She's heard about
Who
someone
was that?
seeing the movie.
That
never seen
sweet
that movie.
scene where the puppies go, "Mwah," and then they find out they're kissing and they're, oh my goodness, gracious, that moment. Yeah, Sarah did that.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing you've never done that?
I've never done that.
Everybody I know has done that,
Yeah,
except
of
you.
course.
But who also hasn't been to Disneyland? And who also,
Right.
most people are defined by the things they do. You are often defined by the things you don't do.
Yeah.
And I will not do that.
What is that? There's like 9 of them, the things Sarah doesn't do.
And a lot of it comes from her childhood, not having toys.
Totally different thing. That's not allowed to do. These are, I choose not to do.
Oh, yeah.
I choose not to go to Disney.
Don't you?
Don't you?
I choose.
I mean,
not
you're
to
allowed
go.
to go there, right?
Yeah. There's nobody
Sure.
And
stopping.
you've never watched a Disney film either, have you?
No,
And you've never
That's
done the Lady and the
crazy.
Tramp thing?
no. I won't do it. I won't do anything. Apparently, I'm a stick in
Have
the
you
Oh,
seen
and what
Top
you-
Gun?
Hell yes.
You know what came up yesterday?
What's
What
that?
was it came up about you yesterday while I was out in a boot? That it can take you 6 months to eat a chocolate bar. But at least she does that eventually. Eventually, the chocolate bar is eaten.
A deputy fire marshal, saw smoke and rushed into action yesterday as a 3-alarm fire at an apartment complex had erupted. He rushed in and saved 2 toddlers. The deputy state fire marshal followed the smoke, ran into the building, got the people out, called 911, and according to the Everett fire marshal, he was able to get a couple of kids out. Those are twin girls who are 2 years old. They were inside, mom was outside. They were suffering from smoke inhalation. They were taken to Harborview. Another firefighter suffered a minor hand injury, and they are still not sure what caused this blaze. But sort of a hero moment.
Yeah.
I mean, that's his job, but he wasn't on the job. You know what I mean? But
Doesn't matter to me. You run into a burning building, get kids out.
Yeah.
You don't have to be on the clock. You don't have to be punched in that day.
It's pretty great.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll probably pay him anyway.
Yeah, you're right, exactly.
Probably gets overtime.
They're not going to dock them.
Right.
is that a hero fantasy?
What?
You've got several of those. Riding into a burning building to
No.
save 2 children?
Not one at all. If you want to throw a kid out a window and I'll catch it, I like that
okay,
one.
That's cool.
Yeah.
But no, it's not
Does
one
there
of
have
my.
to be a fire, or is that
it's
just for fun?
Just for fun. It's not one of my hero things.
Yeah.
Like
burning building.
like a hostage rescue or
Delivering a
Yeah.
baby. Shark attack.
But yeah, fire. That's not about being a hero. That's just about having a bitch and scar. You
Yeah.
guys are gonna have to learn my quirks.
A car plowed through the front of a cannabis shop at a strip mall in Lacey late last night. Firefighters responded to the scene on Yelm Highway. Crews said nobody was hurt, but the building was badly damaged. Firefighters had to work to stabilize the building so that they could remove the car. Then they have inspectors there to check out the stability of the building, how much damage. We still don't know what caused the crash. It doesn't appear at this point to be one of those, I'm going to crash into this building so I can steal everything.
Right?
Oh,
It
yeah.
doesn't. Oh, that's what I thought it was for sure.
Smash and grab.
Yeah, they're still not entirely sure, but bad news for the business owner.
Yeah. Although I'm sure they're insured.
I hope so. Yeah.
You could not have a pot store that isn't insured, can you?
I don't know. I wonder how that
Maybe
works. 'cause
even
I know,
harder. Yeah.
I know they have trouble with banking because of the federal laws against that. I bet it's tough for them to get insurance as well.
This morning, there was a big announcement from Amazon, Berkshire Hathaway, and JP Morgan Chase. They announced plans to partner for a health care system for their employees. This would be a non-for-profit. The 3 employers have about 1.1 million workers, and they would like to change the way healthcare is done. So they will open their own healthcare to provide for their employees.
Healthcare insurance or healthcare as a doctor?
Insurance.
Yeah.
You know, it wouldn't be a terrible idea. Some of these companies are so rich. Have a doctor, have a little
Right.
hospital, a little triage in your giant Amazon store.
And a lot of companies are doing that. I know on Wall Street, that's a big thing
A
because
lot of them are doing the kind of Skype thing with a doctor.
Yeah,
Except
sure.
you go into this booth and you go to meet this. But they're a lot like, I go to Zoom Care every now and again. I get a cold. I have to go back because you know what they said to me at Zoom Care recently?
What's that?
They said, hey, and then it deteriorated from there. They said, all right, well, let me take your temperature, let me do this, breathe like this. Now let me look in your ear. Oh, I can't see your in your ear because of this giant ball of wax. And I said, well, will you get it? That's gross.
Yeah.
And they said, oh, no, you'll have to make an appointment for that. So I have to go back to Zoom Care to get a
Jeez.
giant ball of wax that they saw they're looking right at.
yeah,
What are you doing, surgery to get it
reach
out of
in
my
and
hand?
grab
Yeah,
it.
grab that thing.
That's bizarre that they wouldn't be.
I know.
they couldn't
And
do it.
I like to call anybody in the white coat with the stethoscope doc.
Sure.
But I do it the first time to see if they'll tell me they're not a doctor. I say, oh, thank you very much for this, doc. I'll do what you say, doc. And I expect them to go, oh, I'm not actually a doc. And then I will say, good enough for me. And it's all cute.
Yeah.
But I say, hey, doc. And they say, yes. I think, you're not a doctor.
I wonder if you have to go back because they need to bill you for a procedure. It's 2 different types of billing.
Maybe. I don't know what's up with those guys.
Jeez. FBI Deputy Director Andrew McCabe, who had been a target of unrelenting criticism from President Trump and Republican lawmakers, abruptly announced his resignation yesterday. He was expected to resign in March when he was eligible for retirement, but he submitted his resignation more than a month early. Now, with his accumulated leave time, he will still qualify for full retirement benefits, so he didn't cut off his nose to spite his face.
Wow.
But he decided
So he will
enough.
get full retirement benefits.
Yeah.
That has become a concern of mine since my divorce. Not exactly retirement benefits, but in a fit of anger, we're yelling back and forth at each other. And I think our lawyer was standing right next to her. And she said, blah, 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 about this immense amount of money I was going to have, millions of dollars over 10 years, as well as almost all my savings. And I said, hey, how about you get a job and be a normal person? And she said, and I quote, "You're lucky I don't go after your pension."
Yeah.
And I said, I have a pension, and I do, but I don't get it for another 8 years.
Till
I
you're
think
65.
7 years, and some they're pushing to 71 now.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy. But I do have a pension. But I don't know how many people. We're a pretty rich city and a fairly rich state. And I don't know how many people can afford to retire. Can you?
No, I'm never going to retire.
Yeah, it's a craziness. Who's ready to? Who's like? Even if I was ready, which I am not. Life would be really weird. I like expensive lunches still.
Right.
That's out if I tried to retire now.
Sure.
Well, in this sort of situation, it's almost like what you hear a lot with police, that you are allowed to collect your full pension at a certain amount of years put in. So
That
with
is
a
not
cop,
what I hear from police. I hear, put your hands on the car.
Lay on the ground,
That's what I
sir.
hear. Me and Derek hear that.
And this guy, to get to his full retirement, he had accumulated vacation time and sick leave.
Yes.
And I thought, he's gonna call in sick for a month? Don't they say, hey, can I get a doctor's note after like 3 days?
Yeah, I think that there's so much contention between parties here that, okay, we will accept that. You will get your full pension because he's not retiring early. He had it all timed out to the day
Right.
with 3 sick days, 2 personal days, and all my vacation days. Goodbye. He has retired.
Goodbye.
There is a terrible story making news. A freak accident involving an MRI machine killed a man at a hospital in Mumbai. The
I don't
32-year-old...
think that's how it's supposed to work.
No.
I one time took an MRI just to see if I was claustrophobic.
Yeah.
It's my favorite joke. It's not mine.
You must have had an MRI.
MRI, CAT scan, whatever you got, put me in the tube, and then tell me how it's going to be noisy. Don't get claustrophobic. Just breathe. It's like, shut up. I'm in a tube. What did you think I was going to do?
I've never been in the tube. You can add that to the list of things that I
Well, that's not
haven't
quite the
done.
same thing.
Well, in this case, it was a female relative who was preparing to go into the MRI machine, and he was there helping.
I'm sorry, who?
A man and a woman.
Oh, a female relative
A
of...
female relative of the man who was killed.
Oh, okay.
So the dude and a female relative, she's undergoing the scan, not the dude who was killed.
Oh.
They're both in the hospital room. She's about to go in for the scan. He, the man who was killed, was holding the woman's metal oxygen canister. This is common practice for relatives to help because they can be stressful. They can have shortages of doctors. So the lady's going in the tube, and he's like, okay, Becky, I got your oxygen tube. Lay down. We're good to go. They turned on the MRI machine, which, as you probably know, uses extremely powerful magnets. They powered it up. He was sucked into the cylinder, and he did not survive.
Super weird.
Yeah.
I get grief from those guys every time because we have to go over like the exact weights and alloys that are in my body because I got them, I think, in 3 out of 4 of my extremities contain metal.
Oh.
But no, it doesn't do enough to be bitching. I have nice scars. I have
It
really
doesn't
nice
set
scars.
off alarms when you go to the
It doesn't set off
airport?
the metal detector at the airport. And they say, do you have any metal in your body? And I say, yeah. And I point and they say, all right, go ahead. And we wait for the metal in your body lights to go off. And
Yeah.
it never does. A bummer. And if it did, it was my belt.
Well, they are now investigating and concerned about the understaffing situation at the hospitals in Mumbai. And a YouTube star has sparked outrage after filming a series of prank videos in England. Now, his latest video has reached more than 1.6 million views. Then it was removed for violating YouTube's policy on harassment and bullying. Here's what this individual does. The streets of London. He walks up to unsuspecting people out, just sitting on a park bench, waiting for the bus, and throws water in their face. As you know, right now in England, they're having a problem with acid attacks.
Yeah, in a lot of places. Bangladesh, #1, which is weird. I didn't know they were #1 in anything. But yeah, all over the place.
Yeah, they said specifically in England, these acid attacks have been rising, and some cases, it's criminals going up to people they don't know, perfect strangers. In this case, the guy's doing water in the face to get a reaction, and he films it and then posts those pranks to YouTube. And they
It's not
said-
even like I don't like prank shows. They all make me super uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But there's nothing there. I'm going to throw something at somebody and watch how they react. There's no clever. There's no I figured something out. I was watching a thing on game shows around the world, and this was in Tel Aviv, man. A person in a, what are the thing you wear around your head?
yarmulke,
No, around your
a
head.
headscarf,
Turban?
Turban. No, whatever.
a burqa.
Yes, a burqa. Somebody with a burqa is about to get on a bus with a briefcase, and right as they're about to get on, they drop it and run as fast as they can the other way.
Oh,
Oh.
Everybody just assumes bus attack. He's like, that's not
terrible.
funny.
No.
That's not funny at all. And then the guy goes, oh, I did that thing with the bus.
If you want to spend that grand on putting together a prank show, maybe you'll have some better ideas than those.
visitors to the Giza pyramids in Egypt were treated to an extra spectacle, an appearance by the world's tallest man and the world's shortest woman.
That's what got Barnum started. Barnum and Bailey. P.T. Barnum. That's what got P.T. Barnum started.
Yeah.
Famous photograph
Of the world's tallest man?
with the world's shortest man.
Well, now, I mean, it's so sad to say, but those people don't live very long. The world's tallest man has a new world's tallest man every about 5 years because the life expectancy is shorter.
Yeah, you can pump that blood around all of that.
In this case, it is a Turkish farmer named Sultan Kozan. He is 36. He holds the Guinness World Record for being the world's tallest living man, 8 feet 3 inches
Wow, it's
tall.
super
That's
tall.
tall. Yeah.
He made an appearance at the pyramids alongside Indian actress Jyoti Amje, who is 25 years old, the world's shortest woman, at the height of 2 feet 0.7 inches tall.
That's tiny.
You may know her from Bollywood films and American Horror Story. She was in the season about the carnival, and she played a carnival performer. Kathy Bates was the bearded man, and she is a very, very, can I say short? Yeah, she's the
Yeah.
world's shortest woman.
Tiny.
Tiny is the word you're going for, yeah.
So yeah, they were hanging out at the
What about both of them look like
Pyramids.
naked? But especially her.
Yeah.
Because in my mind, which wanders, I see her as all her proportions are perfect, and she's just 2 feet tall and naked, and it's super interesting and neat.
Yeah.
I'll bet she has all sorts of mechanical problems.
and I bet you're wondering if he matches.
Yes, I am under. Well, I was going to say swing. Well, she's tiny, Paul.
Storm drains of New Orleans. They got a thorough cleaning over the past few months. Periodically, cities go through and clean out all the drains.
If you were
clean
going to
out-
wash all the filth out of New Orleans, you'd be a minute.
One of the things they found when they were clearing away the storm drains of trash and debris, 93,000 pounds of Mardi Gras beads.
Of course.
I mean, you're not supposed to just put them down the drain, but I think sometimes when you throw it and
Yeah.
somebody doesn't catch them, that's just where
Well,
they go.
because at the beginning of the night, you want them. By the end of the night, you're ashamed of them.
Right.
You know, you got to get rid of those. How are you going to explain that to your husband? What'd you do for 9,000 pounds of beads?
I went to New Orleans, was it a year or two ago? And when I woke up, after the first night I woke up that morning, I was like, whoa, that's a lot of beads.
It's a lot of beads.
And you kind of just sweep them to the side, pretend I didn't see
I
them.
remember I woke up in the morning and thought, that's a lot of beads. And I saw this guy. I thought, what the hell happened last night?
There's a scary...
Zydeco. I love Zydeco music.
Yeah.
This is Zydeco, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love me some Zydeco.
There's a scary study out about diet soda. It says people who drink it are 3 times more likely to suffer from a stroke and dementia. According to this study, drinking just 1 diet drink a day can triple the chances of a deadly stroke. What do you have there?
Full sugar Red Bull, thank you very
Nice.
much.
Oh, yeah.
27 grams of carbohydrates. 120 calories. I got the whole deal going on in
How much sugar you got in there?
19 pounds of sugar in this one little can.
So you don't have to worry about this study then.
No, I'm great. I'm good to go, man.
Yeah, researchers at the Boston University School of Medicine have been looking at data and are concerned about the connections now to Alzheimer's, stroke, and dementia. We've known with studies in the past that it can lead to weight gain, which doesn't really make sense, but it tricks the brain and making you crave
Right.
more sugar. And But now they're saying drink water. Do not be fooled by the word diet. That
Well,
it can
water's
lead
all
to
you need,
stroke.
man.
Yeah.
Water is all you need.
You know, I wish they
And a
had
Red
like
Bull.
Alka-Seltzer type tablets. You ever take Alka-Seltzer?
Sure.
Alka-Seltzer type tablets that would turn water into something yummy and still have no calories.
They make some like powdered stuff like
They
that.
say that they do that. You missed the part where I said
Yummy.
Yummy.
Yeah.
That's what you missed. If I want bubbly brown water, I could get that.
Yeah.
I like those little squeezy bottles.
Yeah, I have a bunch of those.
Derek has one that I go into his studio and he's like got purple drink. And then he's got like a red drink. What is that one, Derek? It's not like Crystal Light.
No, it's Kool-Aid. I don't know what happened to it. It's over here
Kool-Aid
somewhere.
squirt bottles.
So it's Kool-Aid.
No,
Who was in
it's
here
shaped-
yesterday? Somebody stole it.
I have a bunch of those. It's it's almost shaped like a little egg, sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like a concentrate, and you
Yeah, I
just
have a
put a
bunch
few
of.
drops.
I have mango.
Yeah, I've seen those,
I have
but
caffeine.
Kool-Aid? That's just weird. And that's so Derek because he's 14. A religion teacher was busted for secretly recording the bathrooms of a church and amusement center that he had then recorded people doing stuff in there. He was busted when the hidden camera fell through the ceiling. They also were able to figure out it was him because when he installed it in the ceiling, he recorded himself. So you have to turn it on and then, get
Right,
up on
sure.
a step ladder
All
to
right.
put
Well,
it up
that's
at the
gross.
ceiling. Employees at this church and then a laser tag complex found all sorts of images of the perpetrator. They then went to his home and found thousands of images where he had taken video of people in bathrooms all throughout the town. So this is the Sacred Heart Catholic Church in Troy, where he was a religious education teacher.
Like sacred fart. Yes, me.
The Archdiocese of St. Louis says allegations against him, if proven, are disturbing and unacceptable.
I would say
Yeah,
that.
you're right about that.
Gross. Archaeologists have found something pretty cool in England. They found a crayon.
Okay.
Yeah, doesn't sound all that impressive so far.
You probably find those quite a bit in your
Yeah,
house.
all over the place.
Is the crayon you find 10,000 years old?
Yeah, Paul.
No, no, they're not. They're usually just 3 or 4 years old.
In this case, it is an ochre crayon that they believe was used 10,000 years ago, clay and sand was made into a crayon so that they could do cave drawings. And they've now found this little piece of crayon that they believe through dating is 10,000 years old.
Wow.
Wow.
I always thought cave drawings were done by scraping. I didn't know there's actual.
Yeah,
color.
or like chalk.
Yeah, huh. But they're neat. Well, that's neat. Remember when they found Richard II?
Yeah,
That was
Under
weird. In a parking,
parking lot, yeah.
In a nowhere parking lot in a nowhere part of England, they
Yeah.
found Richard II. Super weird, but cool. Makes you believe when they said, "All right, man, we're gonna go look for King Arthur." It's like, no, you're not. And then they're gonna find something.
yeah.
Krispy Kreme is hoping you'll give your loved one something from their store for Valentine's
I
Day.
was thinking about a kidney, but all right.
In addition to its classic collection of donuts, Krispy Kreme is selling heart-shaped donuts called Oreo Cookies and Cream. Heart-shaped Oreo cookie dipped in dark chocolate, then sprinkled with Oreo cookie crumbles, drizzled with red icing.
Yeah, not a fan.
No,
No, I think they're screwing up a perfectly good donut.
Yeah?
That doesn't sound better than a donut to me.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like a donut. It sounds
yeah.
like a cookie with frosting.
Yeah,
on it.
no, it didn't work on me.
But do
Sorry.
you guys go to Voodoo Donuts? You've talked about their
I've
crazy
actually
donuts.
never been in Voodoo. I walk by and see the line outside the door, and I say this every time. Who the hell would stand in that line for a donut?
Yeah.
Every time. Every time I'm there. Who the hell would stand in that line for a donut? And so far, I have fought the temptation.
Yeah, I've done it, and the donuts are good, but they are a little over the top. Like, I don't really need Captain Crunch on my donut.
Actually,
Oh, yes, you do,
Yeah,
yeah.
you do. You really do.
I like the idea of a heart-shaped donut. It's cute.
Me too. I just don't like what they've done to it.
Yeah.
Putting all the Oreo stuff in
Yeah,
there.
it's too much
Gotcha.
stuff.
There's a video that's been circulating that has a lot of people talking. It's a seemingly a rat taking a shower,
Really?
and it looks like it's all soaped up.
It's fantastic. He's like washing underneath his arm, and then he puts his other arm up and he's
Really?
It's fantastic. He's cleaning himself standing up on his back 2 feet.
When there's water running?
Yeah, yeah, cleaning himself.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Oh, I
It's
gotta
like in
see
a
this.
sink or something, and he's just washing himself like a normal human would do.
This
but
is what
he's
you
a
can
rat.
expect if we buy you a rat, Tori. This is what they will. All rats do.
You
this.
have to train him to do this.
Oh, I'm so excited. Don't they all do that though, just naturally?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
And they drive little tiny cars.
Gosh, yes.
So cool.
Somebody watched too much Stuart Little.
Right?
I was thinking of that one that cooks.
Ratatouille.
Yeah, Ratatouille.
yeah.
They not only shower, they cook.
Yeah, you got to clean yourself up before you get in
Yeah,
the
of
kitchen.
course you
So I got a chauffeur and a personal chef.
Yeah, you'll be sad.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tori, have you seen this video of the rat taking a shower?
It's absolutely crazy. I didn't believe it when I saw it. It looks like a real person. Like the motions, it's not
Yeah.
normal. It's
Have
kind of
you-
creepy.
Have you seen Ratatouille?
Ratatouille, yeah.
Isn't that what it's called?
I think so.
Ratatouille.
Ratatouille.
The cartoon. Have you seen that?
I have. I've seen part of it.
Because I'm not getting you a rat unless you've seen that.
Oh, okay. I'm going to go do that
Teach you how to
today.
take care of a rat.
The rat video Tori will post to KZOK.com.
Yeah, I want to see it.
It's time for today's Things Are Not Right in Florida's Story of the Day.
Yay.
There was a condiment-related commotion at Waffle House in the wee hours of the morning. A guy sat down to the counter at Waffle House, perched on a stool. The man ordered something to eat. A spicy stir ensued. 3 women who worked there later told police that this fellow, perched on his seat, asked for barbecue sauce. One of the women, named Basil, said, "I'm sorry, we do not have barbecue sauce."
Basil doesn't have barbecue.
Nope.
Yeah. At the Waffle House, there's
Does-
no barbecue
Does
sauce.
she have any
No.
time?
The man began screaming obscenities, shouting and insulting the workers, and said, "I will go to bleeping jail over some barbecue sauce."
God, I've said stuff like that back in the good old days. I used to say that stuff all the time.
Well, then you know from history, where did he wind up?
Jail?
In jail over barbecue sauce.
I gotta tell you right now, if I walked into Waffle House and sat down on a stool, I'd eat somewhere else.
According to the sheriff, we stay pretty basic with the condiments. Mustard, ketchup, mayonnaise, no barbecue sauce.
What about syrup for your
Yeah, you
waffles?
gotta have syrup, man.
I mean, that's not really a condiment.
I put
That's-
syrup on my grits at Waffle House one time, and they frowned at me.
Oh yeah.
Like I didn't know how to eat my own grits. They're my grits. Shut up.
And then you said,
speaking-
"I'll go to jail over my
why,
grits."
Why? Well, I learned that from my dad. My dad would announce what he'd go to jail over all the time, and sometimes would. We have a Frank's Red Hot sauce in studio today.
We
Did you
do.
bring
You're
that?
gonna put that on your grits.
I
Did
don't
you
know
bring
where
that?
it came from. No.
It's a nice. I think it's brand new. Yeah, I'll put it on something. I
Yeah.
got spaghetti this morning.
Nate and Spike have a contest going on in the afternoon. I don't know the full details, but they're putting red hot sauce on stuff, and then I think you have to
Oh,
guess.
because they got that commercial that goes, I put that blank on everything.
Exactly.
Very
yeah.
funny.
So they're
Very
finding
funny.
stuff to put it on, and then I think you have to guess what it is.
Well, if they can
put
do
it
that, why
Yeah.
can't I do my contest? Pick it up with your butt. Everybody loves that
on. You
game.
can. You can do that. Just when we go to commercial break, feel free to pick up anything you
you
like.
know it.
Just we're not going to touch it
I don't
afterwards.
understand how that works.
Oh, Florida.
Oh, Florida.
Florida.
Oh, Danny.
Oh, Spike.
We need to take a break. When we come back, some wild news involving the artist Prince. What music man forgot he owned a multi-million-dollar piece of property? Great news for a former Mariner, and there are a lot of crazy happenings in sports next.
This traffic report is brought to you by the UPS store near Marysville on I-5 southbound at Highway 529. We had an earlier accident that has been cleared, but you're still seeing about a 15-minute delay. And in Seattle on I-5 southbound at the Dearborn Street exit, we do have a disabled vehicle in the right lane of the ramp, causing some delays there as well. Your P.O. box may be sending the wrong message. The UPS store gives you a real street address, package acceptance from all shipping carriers, notify you of their arrival, and provide 24-hour access. Visit theupsstore.com to find a location near you. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
This is Tori with your weather report brought to you by Bartell Drugs. The rain's going to lighten up a little bit today, getting occasional sun breaks in between. It's currently 43 downtown Seattle, and you're going to see highs in the upper 40s. Shop and save up to 40% at your neighborhood Bartells this week during their 2-week big winter sale. And make sure you and your budget stay healthy this winter. Visit bartelldrugs.com to view all winter sale savings. And for a location near you, Bartell's treating Washington well since 1890. Now back to Danny Bonaducci and Sarah on 102.5 KZOK.
With some music news, there was an announcement this week that new music from Prince will soon be available. According to estate advisor Troy Carter, who spoke with Variety, the publication and website, previously unreleased Prince music is coming soon.
I would expect previously unreleased Prince music to come for years to come.
Yeah.
He was the crazy musician in charge of everything and lived in his studio literally.
Right.
Paisley Park, that's what it's called, right? Paisley Park?
Yeah.
Paisley Park, it's a 20,000 square foot business that happens to encapsulate his home as well. Any kind of weird feelings he'd get in the middle of the night, man, I'm going to go put this down.
Right.
I'll bet we're going to hear from him forever, which is neat.
Well, there's been a lot of battling because all of that's completely true. Like, he had finished music. It's not like when we found out there was some unreleased stuff from Nirvana and it was all like raw. It was music that maybe was just an idea.
Yeah.
These unpublished Prince songs are legit, like finished work that he just didn't want to put out.
Right.
So the argument has been, well, he didn't want to put it out. Why are we going to put it out?
For
But
money. That's
Yeah.
why they're
That
going to put it out.
That
Yeah.
argument is now solved. Well, thank you.
Right. Yeah.
Well, there have been some battling back and forth, but it does look like we will get this music from his estate.
Best one for me, although I wish I would have liked the song way better and I don't. John Lennon, before his death, recorded some songs. I forget this one he recorded, but it's him and his guitar, and his guitar playing's not even that. It's a scratch track, if you will. It's him, here are the lyrics, here's what the melody should sound like kind of thing. And then the surviving Beatles went and recorded harmonies to it and made it a Beatles
Yeah.
song. I thought that was awesome. I just didn't care for that song that much. But he's a dead guy. So as dead guys go, new music, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
50 Cent has been trying to unload his 50,000 square foot Connecticut mansion for years now. And a spot on Bravo's $1 million listing could be the kick it needs to finally sell.
Yeah.
He purchased this back in 2003, and it is now being filmed for a future episode of $1 Million Listing. Now, this is a crazy house.
Well, 50,000 square feet is just, it's an office building. It's huge.
Yeah.
It's
Ballrooms, bowling alleys. What else do you want? Fitty.
Yeah, well, and unfortunately, it's in Farmington, Connecticut. So I've actually been to this home, and
You been in this house?
I have.
Neat.
Fetty had you over for dinner?
It used to be owned by Mike Tyson.
Oh, so
Believe
Mike
it or
Tyson
not.
had you over
That
for
hou-
dinner?
I know that house. All right.
So this house, he found out last year when it was burglarized. He said, "What? My house got robbed? I thought I sold that MF. LOL."
He didn't
Wow.
know he owned
50,000
50,000
square
square feet.
He thought that he had already sold that house.
What do they want for it?
Originally, it was $18.5 million, and now it's on the market for $5 million.
Is something wrong with this story?
It sounds like something's wrong.
Sounds like something's wrong with
How
the
do you
story.
forget that you own an 18 million or $5
How do
million
you have
property?
a 50,000 square feet? You can't build it. No, those numbers seem askew to me. Is it a wreck? Because now when Mike Tyson owned it, it was abandoned and a wreck.
No, it's not a wreck. He spent, $10 million on updating the home before putting it on the market in 2007.
Right?
The maintenance costs him, so mortgage, property tax, maintenance fees, $67,000 a month.
Yeah.
We found that price tag out after his bankruptcy Chapter 11 protection that he filed 3 years
Right.
ago. Now, he said, I thought it had already been sold, but it is not. It is 50,000 square feet, 17 acres. approved for helicopter landings, indoor pool, basketball court, recording studio, full gym, and a nightclub.
That's great. Hey, do me a favor, Derek. Will you divide however you do it? I want to know how much this was per square foot.
Oh, yeah.
So 50,000 square feet divided by 5 million, or 5 million divided by 50,000?
5 million divided by
Divide
50,000
5 million
square.
by 50,000 square feet. See what you come up with. Property values here in Seattle, about $600 per square foot is a pretty good deal. Maybe $650, verging towards $700 a square foot. That's kind of our average. Did you come up with something there, Derek?
Working on it.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of zeros there.
The
You got to count
problem
them.
this property has found is, as I said, it's in Farmington, Connecticut, which is a suburb of Hartford, Connecticut. It's not on the border of New York, which is where like the Rolling Stones have houses in a little
Right.
place called Washington, or people go to Greenwich. It's nowhere near that.
Right. No, I know where it is because I knew it when Mike Tyson owned it. But it was abandoned and trashed when Tyson owned it. He didn't take care of it at all. Did 50 Cent buy it from him?
I don't know that. I think that Tyson, didn't he go through bankruptcy? And
He
then
might
it
have
was,
he just might have bailed on his mortgage. He
I
couldn't
think
afford
it was taken from him, put into a trust when he went through bankruptcy, and I don't think it's had another owner since then.
Craziness.
All right, 5 million divided by 50,000 equals 100.
It's $100 a square foot for this mansion.
Yikes.
So maybe he's just dropped it because he wants to just
Maybe
have
he
it
has to,
gone
yeah.
or start a bidding war.
That's craziness. I'll buy it. Well, I don't have $5 million, so no, I won't buy it. But that's, I mean, they're
You'll buy a
set-
few hundred square
they're-
foot of
They're
it. Yeah.
just shy of giving it away at $100 a square foot.
Yeah.
And it has a basketball court indoors and a bowling alley and all that stuff. Seems like some rich dude should pick that up.
Yeah.
The Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York has celebrated its Michelangelo exhibit by having a special guest. Just like all museums, there's exhibits that come through, a Monet exhibit, a Picasso exhibit. In this case, it is Michelangelo. So the Metropolitan Museum of Art, decided to post photos to Twitter showing the other Michelangelo visiting the museum, the Teenage Mutant Ninja
Teenage Mutant Ninja
Thank you.
Turtle.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Michelangelo.
Okay, I was just
Yeah.
waiting to hate this story, and I like it.
It's pretty. The pictures are pretty cute. I mean, it's a life-size Ninja Turtle.
See, I thought they were going to rip off McDonald's. Who was it? Yeah, I think it was some other brand fast food. Kept having real Ronald McDonald's in, which I thought was
yeah.
clever for a little while. I thought they were going to rip that off and have a real live Michelangelo in, but apparently not.
Well, I mean, it's just more epic, I guess, because you see the turtle, you see the guy
Yeah.
in full costume.
And
Sure.
they're big.
Yeah, it's huge.
You can see these pics on KZOK.com.
It's
Oh, I want to check it out.
pretty cute.
Well, thank you for that.
Tom Hanks decided on his next role, and it will be Mr. Rogers. What do you mean?
Really?
Yeah, full on.
Why?
Well, let me count the ways.
Yeah?
I think, you ever watch a movie and the star of it is British, and you know they're British, and they're doing a very good American accent, but you're sitting there waiting for them to screw up and sound British?
Yeah.
Okay. To do Mr. Rogers, you're going to do an impression from beginning to end that we all know.
Yeah.
It's kind of like doing Ronald Reagan, except even, I guess, weirder. We all know, don't you want to be my neighbor? Will you be my neighbor? I'll be your neighbor. And I'm just going to look at Tom Hanks doing that, though. I think it's going to be distracting. I think
you're
Tom
not-
Hanks is one of the world's greatest living actors, and I think a movie that should be made about somebody should be made about Mr. Rogers. That's great. I just think you're going to be sitting there doing this. Oh, that's great. No. Oh, yeah, I do. Oh, that's good. I think you're going to be judging the whole way through. I know I will.
You're not tooting on Tom Hanks specifically.
No,
You're
I'm
tooting
not-
on the
I'm-
fact that he's a known actor.
Doing a thing
Doing a
that's
role.
an impression the whole way. I think it should be an unknown.
Yeah.
He
Thank
looks
you,
so
Paul, for
much
coming
like
around.
him. I think that's why he probably was selected. I can totally see him as Mr. Rogers.
Not positive you select Tom Hanks.
That he picks his movies.
I don't think you. Yeah, Tom, you're doing this one next. I picked
Yeah.
you.
I was watching the.
And he's got to do this song. Won't you be my neighbor? It's all crazy and weird. Get me some unknown guy so I don't know how great he's doing or how
Yeah.
bad he's doing.
I was watching Fear the Walking Dead's season finale yesterday, and one of the main characters started saying a couple words funny. I'm like, why does he talk like that? And then I looked him up. He's British, and he
They're all
slipped.
British now. Like half the cast of The Walking Dead is British.
Yeah. Well, Fear the Walking Dead, it's the lead younger dude.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why is he saying these
Is that the
words
stringy-haired guy? With
Yeah.
I don't like him.
Well, it turns out he's British, and he slipped in
I had
the
no idea that
2-hour
guy was
season
British.
finale.
I'll give that guy a thing because he has a commercial going on right now.
For?
Don't know, which means it's probably not that good. But he plays that character, and then all of a sudden, all sorts of weird stuff. His cable goes out. Some guy comes on and goes, "Does your cable go out?" And he's sitting there with his bow and arrow, or his gun, or his club, whatever he's got, and he's looking around, and then it's for some product. But he plays that character.
And you're not thinking of Daryl from The Walking Dead with the stringy hair.
Yes, I am. I'm sure I am. That's why I said,
Yeah.
you mean the stringy-haired guy?
This
That's
is
what I
a-
meant.
This is a different
Different
stringy-haired
show.
guy
Yeah.
in a spin-off show.
All
But he
right.
too has stringy hair.
All
And
right.
I doubt he has a commercial for anything because nobody knows who the heck this guy is. Daryl's awesome,
Okay.
and he's American.
I don't like him. He looks filthy.
And I thought he was Irish.
No, is he? Maybe he's
No, he plays Irish characters in other movies and stuff though.
Well, now I don't know who's American and who's British. or
Like
Irish.
half the cast of The Walking Dead of the main
Maggie
show
is.
is British. Yeah.
They did this thing on this guy the other day on Sunday morning. Maybe saw it. I'm not watching them new, so this could have been a long time ago, Sarah. But there's a guy. He's got this really kind of gangster part in something, and he's a really big character in some big show that's on cable, I think, right now. And they said, and he has mastered the American accent. And he's some British guy. Who cares? Hire an American guy. What's
Yeah.
wrong with you? Why are we hiring all these Brits? Let's build a wall. That's what I say.
We should,
Keep
yeah.
out them Brits.
Yeah.
From the White House to the Big Brother house, Omarosa, who rose to fame on The Apprentice and then joined President Trump in the White House, is returning to her reality TV roots. She is headed to Celebrity Big Brother.
But they paid a fair amount because they offer me a fair amount. So I
Yeah?
can only assume they pay her a lot, unless they got a favored nations things and everybody gets paid the same.
Well, they battle for $250,000. The new season runs from February 7th through the 25th. It will see 11 celebrities locked in a house as they battle for the prize. She'll be joined by Sugar Ray lead singer Mark McGrath, American Pie actress Shannon Elizabeth, former UFC fighter Chuck Liddell,
Oh, that guy punched me in the face once.
Brandi Glanville from The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Cosby Show's Kesha Knight Pulliam, former NBA star Metta World Peace, Marissa Winokur of the Broadway show Hairspray, and a couple of other people I've never heard of.
You know when everything was going so well, and you throw in some guy that did a play once.
yeah.
Well, that's my High School Musical. Can I be in it now?
Yeah.
Marissa Winokur of Hairspray is she's like the long running actress from that, and I think it's just spices it up because she's a Broadway person. It doesn't really fit with the rest of the crowd.
She doesn't fit in much, does she?
No.
They've offered me good money. The most because they say they plan for $250,000. I'll bet they paid $250,000 to get you there.
Oh.
Yeah, I was offered close to that to do with me and Amy to do reality couples therapy or some such
yeah.
piece of trash show, and Amy just not a chance. And I said, "Do you know how much money that is? Like we could be closer to retirement." And then she said, "Watch an episode," and it was just horrifying. It was so gross.
You should do Celebrity Big Brother though to live
I'd
in a
love
house
to.
and kick those people out.
You are sitting here in the reason I can't possibly, but I would love to do it if I ever get the time. I would do it if it ever I don't know. I've tried to work things out in vacation modes and things
Yeah.
like that, but they're not. The reality housewives thing or whatever it was said we'll build your radio station in the house. You can't leave the house, but you can do your radio show.
Nice.
Which I said, yep. And Amy said, nope. She said, all reality shows lead to divorce. And then I went to say no, but then I figured
Then
she's
you
got a
realized,
point. Yeah.
We invite you to join us on Saturday, March 10th inside the Terrace Club at Safeco Field for Whiskey Rocks Northwest, which is an amazing evening featuring over 100 of the finest whiskeys and bourbons from around the world, plus live music and more. Tickets and all the details are available at whiskeyrocksnw.com. The event has sold out the past 2 years, so make sure to get on your tickets now. Let's take a look at sports.
Sports.
Sports brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys. If you're facing a DUI, call 1-800-DUI-AWAY, 1-800-DUI-AWAY. The kid's kid is getting a shot with the Pittsburgh Steelers. The AFC North champions have signed wide receiver Trey Griffey,
Nice.
the son of Baseball Hall of Famer Ken Griffey Jr. This is to a reserves and futures contract. The 24-year-old Griffey did go undrafted after graduating from Arizona. He went to Indianapolis and Miami and now is getting a chance to play for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Has he played big league ball yet? When you say he went to these other places, did he
To
go
play football.
to the NFL?
For a chance to play in the NFL. He has not played in an
That's
NFL
my question.
game.
So he hasn't played for the NFL.
He's played
Okay.
on the practice squads of those teams.
Yep.
How
so
is
it's
he?
training camp.
He was a pretty good college player, but it sounds like
Not
he's
good enough to get drafted.
struggling to break into the NFL.
He's only 6'3", 209 pounds. He caught 79 passes for 1,241 yards and 6 touchdowns in 4 seasons at Arizona. He's okay, and we'll see. Maybe Pittsburgh will be the right fit. Super Bowl, just a couple of days away.
Does everybody else hate the logo?
I don't know that I've seen a logo.
No, 52.
Oh, yeah. Is it not
The
Roman
L and
numerals?
2 eyes.
Oh, yeah. I definitely hate the Roman
I
numerals.
hate it. I hate it a lot.
Yeah.
I'm bummed. Can't we change Roman numerals?
A lot of people have been just calling it Super Bowl 2018, which I think I like that even less than the Roman numerals.
I'm trying to think because it's all visual to me. You
Yeah.
know, I don't care what you want to call it. If you're saying it's 52 and in my head it's the Roman numerals, I don't really care. But I would like big, bold 2018 better than I'd like the LII. It doesn't
Yeah.
look like it. It looks like a car. It looks like a Lexus.
Right.
Oh, make sure you get the II. What II? The Lexus, the LII.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of cars, at the Super Bowl, Mercedes-Benz will be giving football fans a chance to win one. This is kind of a new twist on an old concept. You can win the car by being the last fan standing. But this is not actually touching the car in person. It's all done through an app. You cannot take your finger off of the app's picture of the car.
And do they have to be around you or do they just know you did this?
Well, in the video that is shown how this works, they say fans will have to press their fingers down on the C43 coupe as the game kicks off and then follow it for the duration of the game.
But you're doing that from home.
Yes,
Well, that's cool.
including commercials and the halftime show. If you lose contact with the car, you're out. There is a
Lose
live...
contact with the car?
Yep.
Like you're holding a picture of the car.
Okay.
Yeah.
A live counter will show the number of players remaining and how long they've managed to hang on. The last person touching the virtual car will get to take it home.
And this for the duration of a football game?
The Super Bowl.
Couldn't you do this? Couldn't all your friends do this?
I think
doesn't
lots
stay
of
still.
people are going to do it. So what happens when
Just
it's
throw some duct tape over
a
your finger and the
thousand people?
phone.
Yeah.
Because everybody will complete this.
My impression is the car moves.
On the screen, the car moves and you have to keep sliding your finger?
I think so.
Oh, well, that got a lot more interesting. But
Yeah.
I don't think
Still,
it's just going to
everybody
be
can-
a still image.
see, as I was going to go Yakuza style and just chop off the end of my finger and tape it to the thing, win a car, and then go to the hospital.
Right. I guess so that means you don't get to watch the game if you're staring at your phone
Exactly.
I
trying to
hate
move
this
your
contest.
thumb around. Yeah.
Remember when we did Live in It and Win?
Ugh, what a terrible idea.
Oh my God, poor unsuspecting listeners that liked us and listened to our show and
Yeah.
were our pals.
Had to live
And
in a car.
Like Hoppa Dave and Yo and like our favorite people, our radio station called them and said, okay, you're great listeners. You get to live in it and win. And they said, yay. And then they all hopped into a Mustang and started eating smelly food and farting on each other. And it was awful. It was like, when I tell you about like 80s radio and how bad it was, that was close. That
and
was
he's
close.
not kidding about the eating smelly food
Yeah,
and
no,
farting.
that was a tactic.
Yeah.
To get really smelly, gross food as you
Wow.
could in that thing with you, because you can't. Anything that came into the car had to stay in it.
Yeah.
So if you didn't finish your big stupid burrito, it went on the floor.
How long did they make it?
A week.
Wow.
I think 1 year was even longer than that. It was a health hazard. They had to pay somebody to have it professionally cleaned before they could take this brand new car home.
It was so
gross.
So gross, man.
And lastly, in sports, the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, one of the most historic sports venues in the nation,
Yeah.
sold its naming rights to United Airlines. This was a deal that was just announced yesterday. It'll span 16 years. It's worth $69 million, and the name will no longer be Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. The new name will be United Airlines Memorial Coliseum.
All right.
End of an era.
End of an era. You ever been there?
I have not.
I forget what we did. There's a lot of stuff going on at that place. There used to be a huge swap meet that went on there. It was like Los Angeles, after they built it, I think for the Olympics, had no idea what to do with it. It's not
Yeah.
anywhere. It's not near anything. It's a big hassle, that thing.
The Trojans from USC have played there since 1923, and the Coliseum will be hosting the Olympics in 2028. And that's your look at sports, brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys at 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
Hey, let's talk about 1-800-DUI-AWAY, why you need them. If you get a DUI, you could go right to jail, and they're not playing with that stuff. It's definitely going to ruin your driving record. Your insurance rates are going to go up. It's a big hassle. What you need to do is call 1-800-DUI-AWAY and fight for your rights. 1-800-DUI-AWAY, they will meet you in Seattle, Everett, or Tacoma. Won't charge you for that meeting. If the unfortunate happens to you and you get a DUI, don't delay. Call 1-800-DUI-AWAY. That's 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
This traffic report is brought to you by Target Zero near Tukwila on I-5 northbound as you approach South Center Parkway. We have an accident that is currently moved to the right shoulder, but you're going to see some delays as people stop and take a look. And on I-5 southbound at Highway 529, there was an earlier accident that has been cleared, but still causing about a 10-minute delay. Drunk you doesn't make good decisions, so make a plan before you party and make sure to get home safe and sound. Our Target Zero goal together: 0 traffic deaths in your family, 0 traffic deaths in our state. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
It is 4 minutes after 7 o'clock in the morning. And if you would like to win tickets to see Gabriel Iglesias, better known to some people as Fluffy, very funny guy. He's playing at the Washington State Fair. You don't have to be smart or clever or figure out any clues to any game. You just have to be funny. It's 7:20. I want you to call up, tell me a brief, quick, relatively clean joke, and win a pair of tickets to see Fluffy at the Washington State Fair. 7:20.
We've heard about kids doing dumb stuff involving cars before, like car surfing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, a man in Oregon is in trouble for taking that to the next level. It wasn't his kid who was car surfing, it was his cat. And we've seen the video. It's not a fake story. The video's up at KZOK.com, but there's the cat right on top of the car. And he says his cat loves it and he only goes 5 miles an hour. And I honestly wouldn't be surprised if his cat did like it, because
Yeah.
cats are weird.
Yeah, cats are weird.
I wouldn't be surprised if the cat wants him to go faster.
Yeah.
You know, he's probably sitting there. Come on, pick it up a little bit.
Well, we've seen those backpacks that are like a space bubble, and you're supposed to put your cat in there and take it out to
The
see
cat
the
pack.
world.
Yeah.
You
I
know-
want one. I also live right near my house. They sell, I think they're for dogs, but they're strollers.
Yeah.
Meant for your pets.
Oh, cool.
Because my cat, Endor, a little dog, Amy walks 4 miles almost every morning when the weather's nice. You can't have one of those little Frenchy bulldogs. You know, its little paws will get sore.
Yeah.
Got to put it in the stroller.
I will say seeing a cat in a stroller ranks up there with one of the weirdest, pet places. Weirdest place to see a pet.
Oh,
Out in the waterfront, and you see just like a cat in a stroller. It's weird.
It is a little
yeah,
strange.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it, I
She's
guess,
right.
yeah. I mean, it's not as weird as like a cat head in a stroller. That's weird as hell. But the entire cat, yes, you're right. That
Yeah.
is odd.
Well, have you seen a cat or an animal in an unusual place, or maybe some strange pet behavior?
Well, remember, my dad worked for the Philadelphia Zoo when I was a little kid, and you'd always wake up with bears and wolves and big cats and stuff like that in the house. Weirdest thing I ever did was not with my daddy, but it was in fact a monkey. Do you guys remember in what's that movie where they all go to Vegas? Hangover.
Yeah.
Remember the second one? They're in Thailand. And there's this monkey dealing drugs.
Yeah.
That monkey's name is Crystal. You'd think that monkey would have a more exotic name, but that monkey's name is Crystal. And I had to do a television commercial for The World's Dumbest with that monkey. And that monkey's scary. Why is it wearing that hat? I don't know. Does it like that hat? I don't know. But the thing was, it had to leap onto your shoulder, and you had to stand there like you expected it. From off camera, it would leap 5 feet in the air and land on your shoulder, and you were not supposed to flinch. And I'm the only one of the cat. Todd Bridges wouldn't even do it. Said, no, and the monkey's not jumping on me. So that was weird. Like I was
Yeah.
expecting, but when it would leap onto you, they can go far, those monkeys.
I bet.
Really?
And his
Yeah.
name is Crystal. I don't know why that thing's name is Crystal.
Is it a girl?
I don't know. I didn't check. I don't know if you can even tell.
When have you seen strange pet behavior, or maybe you've seen an animal in an unusual place? Danny found a monkey on his shoulder.
I did.
Man in Oregon in trouble for taking his cat car surfing. What have you seen? Let us know by calling 800-252-1025.
You've heard of the cat on the hot tin roof. This is the cat on the warm trunk lid. I don't know, but it's driving around 5 miles an hour. The guy says it's safe, that the cat loves it. The question is, where's the weird place that you have seen a pet? 1-800-252-1025.
Let's go to David in Bothell.
Hey, David.
Yeah, when I was in my 20s, this is about 30 years ago, I was sitting there rolling a joint on this table, this friend's table, and I put the joint aside, and then I went to roll another one. I put that one aside, and the first one was gone, and I knew nobody had come up to the table. And but this friend of mine had a rat that he had a cage on the end of the table, and he always kept the door open. It was one of those white rats.
Right.
And the rat came out, and he would steal the joints and take them back and stash them in his cage.
Did he eat them?
Wow.
No, because we smoked them.
Go back in the cage and take them out.
So the rat did not either. Remember back 30 years ago, you said, David, what a big deal rolling a joint was? Like, you had to be secret about it, and it was a big, it was crazy. People couldn't catch it. And now it's like they give them out at vending machines.
Well, earlier in the show, we were talking about a video that's gone viral that shows a rat taking a shower.
Yeah, I got to see that.
KZOK.com, and it's super, super weird. And I mean, Tori, I don't know, she's super weird for wanting a rat, but I guess a lot of you do.
Yeah, every kid I knew growing up had a rat. Everyone.
Tim on Joint Base Lewis McCord, good morning.
Hey, good morning. Yeah,
Morning.
my neighbor had a rat, and she had this big old long flowing hair, and the thing used to sit up on her shoulder, and you couldn't see it because of her hair, but then it'd stick its head out from her hair.
Okay, so the girl had the long flowing hair.
Yeah.
All right.
No, this rat was gorgeous.
Here's what I heard, man. My neighbor had a rat, and she had long flowing hair.
Yeah.
It might be the rat with a big old crazy rat mane.
My Chihuahua does that, which is weird. Like, I think even more strange than a rat. Sits on my shoulder, and particularly when we're driving in the car,
That's
the thing
weird.
he'll crawl up on my shoulder, and he's scared of everything. He's tiny, and he doesn't like to ride in the car, and so he'll climb up on my shoulder and just sit there like as close to my, around my neck as possible.
Why are you taking this horrible little dog in the car if it hates it?
Take it to the vet every now and again, for checkup
Take it to Costco.
shots. Yeah,
Shop.
Super illegal.
to take the
The dog
animal
on
to
your
the
shoulder,
vet.
they can give you a whole hard time about. I drive with my cat on my lap a couple of times because she doesn't like the case, and
Yeah.
I've been informed on more than one occasion that that's fully illegal.
Oh, I had no idea.
Something about them getting under the brake pedal. An
Oh,
unrestrained
Why
animal.
have you been told several times? Have you been pulled over?
I've pulled over. I've never been pulled over. I talked to a cop one time, but I've looked it up after I was told that it's illegal, and it's illegal.
Jeremiah in Seattle, have you seen strange pet behavior or an animal in an unusual place?
Good morning, Sunshine.
Good morning, sweetheart.
Well, I had. Oh, thank you for the sweetheart.
You're welcome,
I had two Dane siblings at the same time. As I got older, one in particular grew fond of every time I start up the Harley, he'd come up, start barking and that like you want to go for a ride. And I'd sit there and you want to go for a ride? Tail start wagging and stuff. So my buddy had a Harley with a sidecar on it.
Right?
And I said, I got to try this. He jumped in the sidecar. I put the scarf, the leather skin, dressed him up like the Red Baron, and I'll be damned if that dog didn't go for a ride, stayed in that sidecar, enjoyed the heck out of it.
That's neat.
I've
I like
seen
that.
it on the road before, and it gets me every time. A dog in a sidecar.
I've seen dogs riding a motorcycle with their guy or their girl, but no sidecar. They put carpet on their gas tank to give them some kind of grip, and they sit right between their legs and put their front paws up on the gas tank. It never looks safe, but
No.
look cool. Makes you look super cool. You know what else makes you look cool? A dog with an eye patch. That makes look
have you
cool.
seen a lot of those?
I've seen one of those,
Yeah.
but I've seen a bazillion dogs with only 3 legs. I think some people run around chopping them off just to look cool.
Bill in Lakewood, is that what you've seen? Something weird with a dog and a motorcycle?
Yeah, in '76, I came back from Germany with my Filipino bride who'd never been to America before, and she was all excited about America and what she was going to see. And we were on our way from New Jersey to Philadelphia, and we saw this man, a bearded man on a motorcycle with his dog, and they were both wearing helmets, and the dog was like a poodle or something. He was fuzzy as well. And it was just the coolest thing. They were probably doing 60 or so, and he looked like he belonged there, and people
So
on the bus
strange.
looked down it, and just like, wow. So this is America, huh?
What'd the Filipino wife say?
So this is America,
so-
huh?
This is America, huh? Wow. So even dogs get to ride bikes over here.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Bill,
Country's
how does-
so rich that even the dogs own Harleys.
Bill, how does your bride feel about all the flirting you do with our Tori?
She doesn't listen. She's still sleeping right now.
So it's okay.
I thought she was no
Thanks,
longer
Bill.
with us. Thanks, Bill.
Anyone else surprised Bill's married?
Just maybe a tiny bit.
To a girl? Well, no, I didn't mean a girl. I meant like a living girl.
Yeah.
Wait, what I mean? Sorry, Bill.
Bye, Bill.
Joe and Everett, strange pet behavior or seen an animal in a weird place?
Richard?
Yeah, my ex-wife had a cat that would play fetch with me.
I don't know what it is when cats do one thing that a dog will do 1,000 times.
Yeah.
It's like the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
Like if my cat played fetch with me, I would stop the presses and go, "Oh my God, my cat fetches." But my dog, which I don't have at the moment, but your dog fetches because that's what. Why do people even have cats?
So my cat plays fetch, but only with Matt. He will not play fetch with me.
Oh, really?
And Matt will tell me, and he's taken video because I didn't believe him. And he's like, we played for like an hour. He throws it down the stairs, and Tanner brings it back up. He will not play fetch with me.
I am shocked that someone won't play with you.
I've always thought animals, pets in particular, good judge
judges.
of character.
Yeah.
Trish in Tacoma, good morning.
Hey, Trish.
Good morning, sunshine.
Morning, sweetheart. What's up?
So we're in the grocery store, and this lady walks in with a boa constrictor wrapped around her. And we're all kind of looking like, okay, this is weird. And she's like, it's a service animal.
That's my service snake.
Can it be?
It's my service animal.
If it can perform a
No.
task for her.
What could it do?
I don't know. Swallow rats.
Help her check
don't
out?
know.
I don't know. But
Guide
I
her
mean,
to the Captain
they can
Crunch?
feel stuff that we can't feel. I mean, when a dog, one of the service dog things is to smell to see if you're going to have a stroke.
Yeah.
You'd figure a snake could figure out something with that crazy long Gene Simmons tongue of it.
What about you, Jennifer and Linwood?
Good morning, you people.
What do you mean, you people?
That's what I mean. So my cat, Margot Renee Velasquez, the prettiest cat in the whole world.
Lovely cat name.
I feel like she might be Portuguese. Anyway, she has her own drawer in the bathroom. You know, like the vanity underneath the sink. There's 2 drawers on either side, and she always wants to be under the sink. So she has her own drawer. She pulls it open, climbs inside it, and then uses her own forward momentum. She kind of lurches forward until the drawer closes with her in it. And she now has access to the magical land under the sink where she flicks Q-tips around and parties. And then when she wants to leave, she just pushes the doors open.
That is so cool.
That is so cool.
That's pretty impressive. I might have to get me a Portuguese cat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Now, how do you know it speaks Portuguese?
This is my decision.
Oh, I like it. I like it.
As a pet
Yeah.
owner, you
Yeah.
are free to decide what
I've
language your
decided my cat
speaks.
is a Republican. I don't know why.
Tori, I'm a little afraid to ask with your pet history. What's some strange pet behavior?
Well, this isn't exactly me. I was walking around Pike Place Market.
Yeah, I was
Get
real
it right.
conscious of that yesterday
Okay,
after that
okay.
caller.
But there was this couple, and they had about 10 different snakes and reptiles, like all over their bodies. And they're just walking around like it's totally normal. And they let me hold one, and it was called a Western hognose, and it had a pig nose. It was a snake with a pig nose.
Aren't those
that's
poisonous? The Western
I thought they
hognose?
were dangerous.
Well, I
yeah.
survived. So.
But that's super weird. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's whatever. In Los Angeles, walking around, in the 30 years that I lived there, walking around, you'll see a snake often. People doing it
Yeah.
just to stand out. Certainly Venice Beach. There's
Right.
20 different guys with snakes and birds and monkeys and craziness.
Pike Place Market? No, it
No, you
doesn't
expect
belong
to
there.
see pot smokers
Yeah.
and occupiers and dreadlocks.
Derek, have you seen strange pet behavior and an animal in an unusual place?
In high school, I knew this girl whose parents had a parrot, and it was like a prize parrot. They treated it like one of their own children, and its cage was right next to the door. And no joke, every time I walked into her house, this parrot would look at me and call me a bleep hole. Every single time.
If I
Again.
may quote my friend Paul, animals very good judges.
Yeah.
Hey, it's time for our listener joke off.
Listener, joke off.
This is for your chance to win a pair of tickets to see comedian Gabriel Iglesias, otherwise known as Fluffy, September 22nd at the Washington State Fair. If you would like to participate, you need to call us right now with your best quick joke. Call 800-252-1025 now. It's our listener joke off for your chance to win a pair of tickets to see comedian Gabriel Iglesias September 22nd at the Washington State Fair. You will just have to make us laugh, and you could be headed to the show.
Is that mandatory?
Well, it's got to be a funny joke.
What if nobody makes us laugh? Do we have to pick the least funny, not funny joke?
I think that happened yesterday.
Yeah. We laughed a little bit yesterday. The jokes weren't the best yesterday. I'm hoping for better jokes.
All right. So you actually don't have to make us laugh. You just have to be funny.
All right, our first joke teller is Christina in Graham.
Somebody's making me laugh already.
Hey, Christina, how are you?
Hi, guys. How you doing?
We're doing very well. Thank you. Here it is. Listen to Joke Off. You want to go see Gabrielle Iglesias, tell us your joke.
Are you ready for it?
Yeah.
Okay. Why was the blonde's belly button sore?
I don't know. Why was the blonde's belly button sore?
Because her boyfriend was blonde too.
Because her boyfriend was blonde. You know what? I forgot that blondes were automatically stupid, and that was a runaround joke that was normal.
All right, let's hear from Dave in Puyallup.
Hey, Dave.
Morning, guys.
Morning.
So I was walking down the street the other day, and I saw a wino eating grapes. This is actually a Mitch Hedberg joke, by the way.
Okay.
Anyways, I saw a wino eating grapes. I said, dude, you got to wait.
That's funny.
I think if he hadn't told us he stole that joke, I might.
From Mitch?
From Mitch
enjoy it.
Hedberg, yeah. Okay.
Is he dead?
He is indeed.
Yeah.
Bella and Linwood, we'd
Probably
love to
killed him.
hear your joke.
Bella.
Good morning.
Good
Oh,
morning,
Bella
sweetheart.
likes.
What's up?
Bella liked Dave's joke.
Why can't the T-Rex play the piano?
I don't know. Why can't the T-Rex play the piano?
Because it's dead.
Because it's dead. It's
right.
certainly a good answer.
We're going to take
Bella.
one more joke here. It's Eric on Camino Island.
Hi, Eric.
How are you?
We're good, thanks. What do you got for us?
Hey, what did the earthworm say to the caterpillar?
I don't know. What did the earthworm say to the caterpillar?
Who'd you have to do to get that fur coat?
Yeah? Do you get it?
I do.
Explain it to me.
Because
Women
the
get
caterpillar
fur
has
coats
a furry
sugar
exterior.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who'd you have to do to get? Yeah. All right.
Yeah. I see. Okay. Well, we are going to have to pick from one of these four.
Yeah.
This is a bit of a tough one today, but we will count to three, and then I'll say the name of the person we think should win.
On the silent four. You ready?
Yep.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Bella.
Ooh, it's Bella today.
Bella
It's our
takes
big
it.
winner.
I was on the fence, so Bella was my second choice anyway.
Bella was our big winner. Thank you very much there, Bella. You're going to go see Fluffy Iglesias at the
Wow,
Washington
Bella's
State
excited.
Fair. Yeah, well, good. You should be. It's an awesome ticket.
Yeah,
You'll
it
have
is.
a lot of fun. He's a super funny guy.
Our Jeep winners window is where you're going to pick up your tickets, and the show is September 22nd at the Washington State Fair. Get your jokes ready because we will give you another chance to win your way in at 7:20 tomorrow.
This traffic report is brought to you by Staples. On I-5 northbound as you approach South Center Parkway, there was an earlier accident that has been cleared, but you're still going to see about a 20-minute delay. And in Port Orchard on Highway 16 westbound at Old Clifton Road, there's an accident currently blocking the right lane. Staples has low prices on the organizational solutions your business needs to clear the clutter and focus on the job at hand this year, like bankers boxes, file folders, and storage bins. Less mess equals more success. Visit Staples.com for more. Staples, it's pro time. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
Let's talk about you, shall we? Are you struggling with your weight? I was, and I'm not. How would you like to be able to say that? Man, I used to be a big fat slob, and now I'm not anymore. Well, I can help you out there with 3010 weight loss for life. I can also tell you about in-home care. Do you have an elderly parent that you want to stay in their own home? Well, you should. Excuse me, I got. It's a matchmaking service. ServeWell. It's a matchmaking service for senior care in the Puget Sound area. My mom, Betty Bonducci, 93 years old. If you need help finding quality care for your aging parent, go to ServeWell.com and choose your service, your caregiver, and your price, and then let ServeWell take care of the rest. ServeWell is more affordable than home care agencies. Why? Because they cut out the middleman and the middleman costs that don't contribute directly to the care of your loved ones. ServeWell has it going on. They've had it going on for years. You know how stressful this can be. Your parents, all of us, our parents are aging. You got to take care of them somehow. The answer is ServeWell. Let ServeWell help you out. Go to ServeWell.com.
This is Tori with your weather report brought to you by the Special Olympics Washington. You're looking at scattered showers today with the occasional sunbreak. It's currently 43 downtown Seattle and highs will stay in the upper 40s. Make a splash for Special Olympics athletes in your communities with Polar Plunge. Grab your friends and take a dip in the icy water to support more than 17,500 Special Olympics athletes. The cold is temporary, but the impact is not. Pledge, plunge, and party at polarplungewa.org. Now back to Danny Bonaducci and Sarah on 102.5 KZOK.
Do you want the who, what, where, when, and possibly how? Well, stay tuned for the big news of the day.
Some of the big stories. Elon Musk has a new project. It's a little strange, and not everyone is on board. What centuries-old mystery may have been solved, and a legendary sports team is giving up its mascot. We'll tell you why.
It's big and it's new, and we have got it. Oh, and got it for you. I rhyme when I promote what's coming up next. It's the big news of the day, and it's brought to you by Goldberg Jones Divorce for Men. Call 1-800-DIVORCE, or just go online to goldbergjones.com.
Well, one of the big stories today has to do with Elon Musk, who is probably best known for his cars, his goal to get to Mars, his traffic tunnels, his high-speed trains.
Yeah, his hyperlinks. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
And now flamethrowers.
Of course it is. What?
What?
He has a limited edition flamethrower up for sale, $500 a pop, limited to 20,000 units.
That seems cheap for a flamethrower, and 20,000. That's a good amount of flamethrowers to have out there on the street.
You know, I beg to differ with you, Mr. Man, and I will tell you this. I will tell you in the thing we're going to. How's everybody getting an assault rifle? How's everybody doing this? Why are their guns running rampant in the street? And Elon Musk goes, you know what they really need? They need a flamethrower. I don't know that it's the world's best idea to give people. What's its purpose?
What's
Oh, I
its
didn't say I
purpose?
was for it. I said that's incredibly cheap for a flamethrower.
Okay,
and 20,000 is a big limited run to be putting out on the streets.
all of those things that he said is right.
They are useful for some.
What?
They're
Clearing
used to-
brush? Is that the
yes,
point of it?
Clearing brush, killing weeds, clearing patches of asphalt, thawing frozen pipes, sterilizing animal
Thawing
enclosures.
frozen pipes?
Yep.
Didn't we just blow a guy up who
Yeah, we
who
did.
thawed a pipe?
Right.
With a bic?
With a
That's
torch,
a bic.
torch lighter.
Or a torch lighter.
Well, people have a misconception about flamethrowers.
Also, close quarters combat. They're good in that situation,
Yeah,
right?
cave dwellers, get them out of there.
These are no longer the types that you saw in World War II, the kind of movies that you've probably seen with the flamethrowers. These are actually powered by flammable gas like a propane, so it's more like a high-powered torch,
Well, you
and
can't
they
tell
are
me,
legal.
You can't tell me that they're nothing like the kind from World War II. You know why? Because the kind in World War II were called flamethrowers.
Right.
And the kind he's making are called a flamethrower.
Yeah.
There, I know what to do with it. If somebody manufactured a jacket, I go, well, you put it on to be warm. And if somebody else made one, I think, well, you put that on to be warm. This is a flamethrower.
Yeah.
Okay.
As of yesterday, he had already sold about 7,000.
I'm sure he'll sell out. I don't
Crazy.
know. What made him pick that? Like, is it a joke
Why
of some
not?
kind? Because really, he does, he does the hyperlink. He doesn't clean your driveway. I don't get the gag. There's got to be some kind of gag there.
No, he's just raising money.
It's just on Amazon, or where do I find it?
It's through. Oh, I deleted the name of the company. There's a special website. It is not through Amazon.
I'm going to order one.
Now, you have a bunch of property. Would that make sense for you?
I mean, I don't know that I have a need for it, but
See,
it
it's
sounds
the
pretty
thing.
awesome.
You have a farm and I don't. Neither one of us have a real use for it. That's why I'm asking what. There's got to be a gag here of some kind. He's a funny, whimsical guy.
Yeah.
And I've seen the flamethrower itself. It's kind of snazzy.
Yeah, it
Kinda
looks
white
really
and
cool. He's actually sold 10,000 now
Yeah,
so far.
but I don't get what, he does hyperlink. What made him go, you know what else? Clear the driveway.
Yeah.
Seems weird to me.
Jack the Ripper's mystery has been solved.
Was that the mystery?
No.
A forensic linguist at the University of Manchester says that they have learned that no forensic linguist analysis was ever carried out on any of the letters that were purportedly written by the murderer, Jack the Ripper.
And this was some linguist said this.
Mm-hmm.
Was he cunning?
More than 200 letters from Jack the Ripper,
I bet he
Jack the
was.
Ripper, were sent in the wake of the deaths. They have now gone through them and said these letters, according to these experts, were written by the same person. Therefore, they do believe there wasn't a copycat, that it was the same killer. Now, part of the mystery is solved, however. We still have no idea who Jack the Ripper was.
I thought we did know who it was.
Some people allege to have known, but most think that it was more than one
And
person.
by the way, when you say Jack the Ripper and I say, because you're carrying your whole country's serial killer a repertoire on your back of a guy that killed 9 people,
Yeah.
gruesome as they were,
Yeah.
and didn't get caught, so therefore also kind of interesting. But this is America. We killed 9 people in an afternoon.
Yeah.
Our serial killers wipe out neighborhoods.
Sometimes with a flamethrower.
Maybe. Is that true?
I'm sure people have killed more than one person with a flamethrower.
I'm
before.
sure they have.
So,
man.
Elon Musk, obviously getting some backlash from his
Yes.
flamethrower thing. He tweeted out, obviously a flamethrower is a super terrible idea. Definitely don't buy one unless you like fun. So
See, yeah.
Yeah.
he's just being
He's
wacky.
just
He just
being
wants to
wacky.
sell some flamethrowers.
The Cleveland Indians have announced they will remove Chief Wahoo's
Chief Wahoo!
logo from their uniforms next year. This is a polarizing
Are
mascot.
you holding that up for me or the camera?
The camera.
Look at you professional you.
Chief Wahoo is a logo a lot of people are familiar with. And it's been around for since 1947. They have decided that it's time to shelve it. Now, you still will be able to get some bits of Chief Wahoo. They aren't getting rid of it altogether. It is being removed from their uniform. And
Yeah,
that will be
basically
official.
Major League Baseball said, hey, come on, guys, don't wear that on the field anymore. They're still selling it in the gift shop.
Yep.
You know, you can still go into the stores and buy the same logoed merchandise.
Yep.
And that money still goes back to the team, but they're just taking it off their jerseys.
You know, I go back and forth on my opinions about these things, about Chief Wahoo being racist. I mean, no, it's really not. It's a characterization. It's this and that. So then I took a good look at it and I went, now imagine if that was an African American. And now it's a minstrel show. You can't do that. You
Yeah.
cannot put Chief Wahoo. If that was a black guy and you did that to it, your character,
Right.
full on racist. That's when I realized, because I think no harm, no foul. But now that I look at it, there's a little harm there.
Yeah.
And Michael Bennett, Seattle Seahawks Pro Bowl defensive end, has been talking for months about a book that he's been writing, and we now have a release date. April 3rd, it will be available in hardback and as an ebook on April 25th. Its title, Things That Make White People Uncomfortable.
Is the first thing Michael Bennett?
It sounds like the title of the book certainly is going to make people uncomfortable.
Michael Bennett said, I think the title is just a title to start the conversation so people want to read. I think the book I'm focusing on is issues that I see as important in America and that are my view.
Well, you know, there's so many things that you can do either way here. What makes white people nervous? Sometimes black people. You go into a certain neighborhood, white people go, what makes black people nervous? Cops. You know, it's a whole different ball of wax each time. Is this a conversation starter that at the end of it, white people shouldn't be nervous about these things?
It's just, he said, it's to start a conversation. So it's his opinions
But it's a
on
book.
the
It's gotta
political
say something.
climate. It's about standing for the national anthem. It's about
okay.
how people are treated in poor neighborhoods. It's about all the issues he thinks that we are facing
And
presently.
by we
in
mean
America.
white people.
Or just
Americans.
people in general.
Yeah.
Well, then why is it called white people?
Because the problem he sees and the reason he was sitting for the national anthem is that black youths and black men are being mistreated.
I'm guessing he didn't write a book just for white people. I'm guessing he wants everybody to buy it.
No,
Exactly.
I think a lot of people love it. I'd like to know what makes white people nervous. I'll do it because it's fun. But, you know, when you write a book called, so what is it? What makes white people nervous?
You'll have to read the book to find out.
I don't know that we know everything that's in the book.
That's the big news of the day, and it's brought to you by Goldberg Jones. Divorce for Men at 1-800-DIVORCE or online at goldbergjones.com.
Go nowhere, my friends, because coming up next is the Filthy Forecast.
It's Sarah with your filthy forecast. Oh, so much rain. Might want to call Noah. Get him on board in pairs. 2 is fun, but 3? No, that's a party. Just how big is that boat? Although it's not the size of the boat, it's the motion of the ocean. Oh, those waves will be slamming us hard today, and more rain pounding away all week. 46 for the high, 37 for the low. I'll put all 10 fingers on your cubits and have all hands on deck for the next forecast. See you next Thursday. Good looking. With the best weather front in Seattle. I'm Sarah.
Did that woman threaten my cubits?
I think she did.
I think she did. She's going to do something weird with all 10 of her fingers on my cubits. I don't know how many of your fingers can fit on my cubits, for God's sakes. That was Sarah's Filthy Forecast. And 16 times a day, you heard me right, 16 times a day, you got a shot at $1,000 with the Money for Nothing giveaway on KZOK. Just listen for the new keyword every single hour and then text that word and win. Get the details on the contest tab at KZOK.com.
This traffic report is brought to you by Target Zero. On Highway 512 westbound at Portland Avenue, we have seen about a 10 to 12 minute delay through there. And on Highway 16 westbound at Old Clifton Road in Port Orchard, we have an accident that is currently blocking the right lane, causing some minor delays as well. Drunk you doesn't make good decisions, so make a plan before you party and make sure to get home safe and sound. Let's reach our Target Zero goal together. 0 traffic deaths in your family, 0 traffic deaths in our state. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
Hey, we're thinking about this housing market. It is so red hot. And a lot of people who already own a home might not realize that more than 80% of all mortgage holders now have available equity that they can take advantage of. It's true. You need to reach out to American Financing to learn more about it. You could do a cash out refinance. And with a cash out refinance, you'll have access to significant amounts of money that can help cover costs of things like college tuition, a second home's down payment, or even some home renovations. You need to talk to the salary-based mortgage consultants at American Financing. You can take advantage of these great things that are available to you and do business with a family-owned company. You're not doing something with some nameless, faceless giant. American Financing are family-owned, and they have been in business since 1999. They also have an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau. So if you're ready for a refinance or if you are ready to get in the market, reach out to them. Call 206-204-3200 or AmericanFinancing.net, NMLS 182334.
Hey, it is 8:03, and we got all sorts of things going. Your world is not complete unless you got an app. And specifically, this app, it's the iHeartRadio app. The iHeartRadio app, it's making it easy for you. It's the super weekend of super duper weekends. Does that make sense?
It
No,
does.
I don't think it really does. It does? Well, thank you. Here's what happens. You get to listen to millions of songs, albums, and playlists at no cost. Down the app right now. Download the app right now and check it out. It's the all-access free preview this weekend.
There was a mom who got into a bit of hot water because of her daughter. She's the EPA administrator, and her daughter told a group of people at her swearing in about what she thought was a funny story.
Right.
About mom wearing a fake nose and a disguise to help her cheat on her driving test. Now, mom says it was all in jest. The daughter says it was all in jest. Her daughter's now 24 years old, and the idea was that she was wearing like a Groucho Marx glasses and fake nose and mustache.
All of that story means my mom helped me in some way.
Yeah.
And then she said, like she's crazy. She wore a fake nose and a wig down there. She didn't mean anything by this, I don't think.
Well, she just told a story and didn't think there were going to be repercussions. But
And it
now,
was meant to be, this is how great my mom is.
Right. Yeah.
But they didn't take it that way.
no, they now think that mom's a cheater who wears a creepy costume. And this story is winding up getting her in trouble, getting the daughter in trouble. And it just seems to have spiraled out of control. But it's happened to a lot of people. I'm sure it's happened to a lot of us where you tell a story and it doesn't go well. It gets you into trouble.
Yeah. I forget who I told. I think it was People Magazine of all things. They wanted to know what I was doing with my career since the Partridge Family. And there was a couple of years where I didn't work even a single day. And I was embarrassed. So I made up that I had moved to Asia and was doing Kung Fu movies.
Yeah.
It's a harmless lie. Who's it hurt? But people read People Magazine. I didn't know. And people expected me there. Like people nowadays, you could look me up on IMDb and go, well, where are the Kung Fu movies you were doing in Hong Kong?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't really do them. I lied. Sorry.
Well, didn't you eventually wind up getting even more trouble because your now ex-wife was like, oh, yeah, you totally know Hong Kong.
Yeah. No, same exact story. Yeah. She expected me to Hong Kong because it was a People Magazine. I think it also said I was in an episode of Cheers, which also wasn't true.
Well, you guys listening, have you ever told a story that got you into trouble? Let us know by calling 800-252-1025.
Yeah, we're talking about stories that I guess essentially come back to haunt you. This lady said her mom wore a disguise of nose and glasses to help her driving. And, I told my company that I broke my leg one time, not thinking, well, I have to put my leg in a cast now. I didn't think that's So what is the story that's come back to haunt you? 1-800-252-1025.
Good morning, Brent in Port Townsend.
Hey, Brent.
Hey, how you doing, guys?
We're all good. Thank you for asking. What do you got?
Oh, it's kind of embarrassing. Listen, I went up to Edgefield McMinimans in Troutdale, Oregon with my girlfriend, and it's like this location place. We got really buzzed, and we had a room and everything. She wants to go to the saltwater lazy pool and get drinks. So, walking over, shorts and I don't know, those white robes, kind of awkward. She orders me, Brent, go get the drinks. So I'm standing in line. I order 2 drinks, and the bartender's like, sorry, this is so long. The bartender's like, hey, how you going to pay for this? And I'm like, super buzzed. I don't know where this came from. I'm like, yeah, it's the black AMX that says doctor on it. And the bartender goes, oh, this one? And she had one.
Wow. I didn't even know exactly what was happening there, but that's awesome.
That's great.
I go, look, I don't have my glasses. Could you just sign it and give yourself a 35% tip? And the guy behind me goes, dude, you are not a doctor. I do not know where this came from. I'm like, give me a knife and I will save your life.
This story just keeps getting better and better.
I already love Brent, but I love him even more now.
I like Brent even more today.
So, Brent, at the end of the day, did you get busted or did you get away with it?
I got busted because we were walking across the parking lot, and some girl yells across the parking lot, hey, doctor, I got a knife.
Uh-oh.
Like, who is that?
Right. Because the story started out with his wife not wearing that much clothes and wanting alcohol. I thought this is a great story. But it got even better. You know what was big when I was growing up in my teenage years in Los Angeles? Women, but a lot of times, sometimes men, but mostly women, would put on English accents.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a thing in where you're part of the world, too.
Absolutely.
Chicks would just go, hello, nice to meet you. I mean, they sounded nicer than that. But they said that to me, and you'd think, after like 20 times, you eventually went, this is not real. But you'd call them on it, and they'd get really offended, and you're thinking, I just want to have sex anyway. What do I care what they sound like?
Right.
But that was a big thing, putting on the fake English accent.
My best friend is British, and a bunch of her girlfriends all came over to visit, and we went out to the bars, and so I decided to talk like them. And finally, somebody's like, yeah, I know, you guys do this all the time. You're not really British. And the British girls pull out their passports.
Right.
And they're like, oh. So they wound up thinking that I was British, too, because I was like, oh, I just forgot my passport. But that was a huge scam.
Yeah, big thing.
Most of the time, you can't keep it going because eventually you lose your accent.
And mostly, by the way, we don't care. We're not going, liar. So I will not have sex with you now.
Yeah.
Have you ever told a story that got you into trouble? That's what we're asking at 800-252-1025. How about Mother Trucker in Seattle?
How you doing?
Hey, Mother Trucker, what's up?
Well, I was 16 years old or so, and I used my dad's 56 Volkswagen Bug. Really nice paint job. Nothing wrong with his car at all. And I go out with my friend to the woods, and we're baa-hawing around, and I slid off the road into this trench. We got it out. These guys helped us lift it out. And I said it happened at Burger King, that someone backed into me for the little dent on the fender.
Yeah?
He knew I was lying.
Oh, parents always know.
God, did he give you the keys to his, a 58, did you say?
A 57.
57.
Oval window.
He gave the keys to a teenage girl to a 57 Volkswagen?
No, she was 60.
Oh.
Joking.
Oh.
Trucker Rob calling from Seattle. Have you ever told a story that got you into trouble?
Hey, good morning, my brother, mother.
Good morning, Trucker Rob. What's happening?
Hey, just one of them wonderful days, baby. I got one for you real quick. But, hey, I just want to point out one thing for you. February 10th, Danny, you're invited to join me at Cage Sport at the Emerald Queen to watch my nephew fight for his second pro title belt. He is the main event.
You had a friend or a relative fighting there before, and I really wanted to go, and I didn't get the opportunity. So if I can get there, I will absolutely get there, Trucker Rob, and support your nephew. All right, now what do you got for us?
You got to, buddy. Anyway, this happened about 2013 when our boys won the World Series, the Super Bowl, and the last home game where we beat Carolina to go to the game. I had one ticket on a raffle, so I was supposed to work that day. So I called the boss. hey, told him that unfortunately I'm not going to make it. My wife was in a car accident. She got hit by a drunk driver. She's up at the hospital. And he's like, hey, not a problem. Family comes first. Do what you got to do. So we go to the game. I mean, we're absolutely having a blast. About halftime, I go in there and buy a couple beers, and I get tapped on the shoulder, and I turn around, and da-da-da! There's the boss sitting right there looking at me.
That's always a drag. We reported on a thing here where a guy said essentially the same thing that you said, but then he got caught on the kiss cam.
Yep. Oh,
and
yeah.
his boss saw that.
I got busted on the kiss cam. Me and Matt left work early. We said we weren't dating. We're just coworkers. And left work early, went to a Mets game, and got busted on the kiss cam. Turns out a bunch of the bosses had also gone to the game and saw us not just getting busted having left work, but kissing.
Yeah. Although, if I were there with Paul and the kiss cam came on, everybody started cheering, I'd kiss Paul.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you're dating. I
Why
don't think
not?
it means you're dating if you kiss on the kiss cam.
Exactly. Yeah. And the bosses were playing hooky too. So
Yeah.
what can they say?
Depends on how much tongue is involved. But
With me and Danny, it's always a lot.
I told a story on the radio in Philly. I'm assuming you and I were working together. That there was this place, a bar we used to go to, kind of the station's haunt, if you will. And out front, in the side was a time capsule, and it said 1776 through 2006 or whatever it was. That there was a time capsule down there, and eventually that square on the sidewalk started to break. So I started to steal it. I thought it was a really cool thing, and it was broken. I would take it back piece by piece as it broke more and more, and rebuild it in my house.
Yeah.
So I tell this story. Years later, some lady walks along, trips, breaks her leg in that hole, and sues me as well as 100 other people for $50,000 each because she heard me tell a story, and they went back on tape and heard me tell it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they lost. They didn't get me.
good.
But still, it was weird.
Paul, have you told a story that got you into trouble?
Yeah, we've talked a lot on the show about my home life, and you guys find it rather peculiar that
Yes.
we raise our own meat and we make our own soap, and my wife churns butter. And we've joked about me being Amish. And so one of Holiday's coworkers, she didn't catch on for 4 or 5 months, but this particular salesperson would come to her and wouldn't call her on the phone, wouldn't email her, would come to her every time she needed something. She would come into her office and ask her. And finally she said, you can send me an email. And she said, I didn't want you to feel uncomfortable. I know it must be tough for you, being outside the home and having to use electricity and technology. And I know you guys don't do this at home, so it must be really weird. And I just didn't want to make it uncomfortable. Because she really thought that we're Amish and that Holiday must be struggling at work every day because the lights are on and the phone is ringing.
Yeah, your butter is cubed and stuff like that. But, I mean, you and your lovely wife just went to Vegas. I mean, people, how is it so weird that somebody would think Paul's full-on Amish just because we kid him about
The
it?
stories we tell on the air
Stories we
get you into
tell.
trouble. Tori, have you told a story that got you into trouble?
I told my girlfriend that her boyfriend was cheating on her, and she stopped talking to me forever.
You know why? Because you're an
Aw.
idiot. That's
Why?
why.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Well, why doesn't she believe me?
Why did you tell her?
Because I wanted her to know the truth.
How do you not know how that works out, that you
Right.
end up minus one friend?
I don't understand.
It's the rules of the world,
Young
kid.
girls are dumb.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Derek, you know that, but have you told a story that got you into trouble?
I missed about 2 weeks of school due to having bronchitis, and when I came back, I had a teacher who was kind of snappy about it, and she goes, "Where were you?" And I felt like being a smartass, so I said, "Oh, I had chronic bronchitis from smoking too much pot." And later that day, I end up in the principal's office with a counselor to talk about a drug problem.
Yeah, your drug addiction, absolutely.
Derek told a story about being at the Grammys on Sunday. And I don't know if that story might get him into trouble.
Because I don't think so, because if you believe that story enough to get him in trouble, you should be in trouble.
That's true.
You've never seen me play the kazoo, obviously.
Obviously not.
This traffic report is brought to you by Bartell Drugs. On State Route 900 eastbound at 164th Avenue in the East Renton Highlands, we do have an overturned truck and traffic is stopped from 148th Avenue southeast. There are some detours you can use to get onto the side streets. And in Port Orchard on Highway 16 westbound at Old Clifton Road, we had an earlier accident that has been cleared, but you're still seeing some minor delays. Shop and save up to 40% at your neighborhood Bartells this week during their 2-week big winter sale, and make sure you and your budget stay healthy this winter. Visit bartelldrugs.com to view all winter sale savings and for a location near you. Bartell's, treating Washington well since 1890. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
Love, it's a gift. And this year at Shane Company, they have exclusive handcrafted Valentine's Day gifts to be sure to bring smiles to anyone close to your heart. They have so many beautiful things to choose from. One of my favorites is a pendant that features a beautiful blush-colored cultured pearl. It is accented with pink and white sapphires. Sounds crazy, right? Well, it is set in sterling silver and only $175. They have matching earrings that are only $225. Now, together or individually, they would make a stunning, super special gift. You're going to find something unique at Shane Company. You are going to find something with the best quality. Tom Shane wants to make sure that everything matches perfectly. He does the hand selecting of every sapphire and make sure that they are of exceptional color. Go to the store in Linwood or shop online at shaneco.com. Now you have a friend in the jewelry business, and it's Shane Company.
Is this your year? Is this the year that you walk around the exact weight you've always wanted to be? Well, we can help you out. A new year, it means new opportunities with 3010 Weight Loss for Life. And I'm very excited to be talking about 3010. I'll tell you why. Because I hooked up with these guys last year, did the program, and I lost 40 pounds. Every single ounce. They said, here, get on our fancy scale. It says your body fat index and all that fancy stuff. Well, we think you've got this much weight to lose. And I did it. And if I can do it, you can most certainly do it. Go to 3010 Weight Loss for Life. They'll teach you that it's not just about what you eat, it's how you think about about food and what you practice. And here's most importantly, how you plan. At 3010 Weight Loss for Life, you're going to receive personalized coaching, helping you to address the changing eating habits that you're going to be going through, teaching you about healthy nutrition, and guiding you through each step of the program. And here we go. Holding you accountable. So, by the way, 3010 makes losing weight delicious. They will give you awesome, yummy, tasty recipes. They were delicious, by the way. And like I said, let me just brag one more time. Lost the 40 pounds, which is not nothing on a 5'6" frame. Call 3010 Weight Loss for Life right now, 855-843-3010. That's 855-843-3010. Or go to 3010weightlossforlife.com. That's 3010weightlossforlife.com. You'll be glad you did.
This is Tori with your weather report brought to you by the Phillips Law Firm. You're looking at scattered showers today with the occasional sunbreak. It's currently 43 downtown Seattle and highs will stay in the upper 40s. Auto accidents can happen anytime, all the time. If you or a loved one have been injured in a car accident, call Phillips Law Firm today for a free case evaluation. Call 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com. Now back to Danny Bonaducci and Sarah on the KZOK 102.5.
Experts are once again warning about this year's flu. We are up to 109 deaths in Washington state alone this flu season.
Really? I would not have guessed that many.
It's a large number, and unfortunately, nationwide, that number is growing every day. And the entire nation is dealing with the peak of flu season. And they said we are not even remotely over this yet.
They also said that it's not too late to get your shot. That doesn't sound right. It sounds like it's way too late to get your shot.
Well, no, because flu season lasts into March. So really, if you want to be protected.
Oh, I got mine, and I got sick with something else. There's germs everywhere.
Yeah.
I blame those pesky kids.
Teachers are reporting that half of their classes are out. Just about every workplace is being hard hit, including doctors' offices. They are urging everyone to stay home if they are sick. If you wash your hands a lot, that you can stop the spread. And if you do have flu-like symptoms, fever, shortness of breath, go to the doctor right away. Unfortunately, a lot of the people who have not survived this flu season didn't go to the doctor because they didn't think that they were sick.
Yeah, usually and tragically, it is babies and old people.
Yeah.
I was just looking at the news just a second ago, and it's this young mother of two. She couldn't have been more than 35 years old, dead of the flu.
Yep. A 14-year-old boy this morning died
Crazy.
of the flu. In other news, Amazon, JP Morgan Chase, and Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway announced that they would form a healthcare company aimed at lowering the cost of care for their more than 1 million U.S. employees. They also say their venture will be free from profit-making incentives and constraints. So they want to develop a healthcare company for their employees, and the mission is not to make money.
Right. Well, the mission's got to be to make people healthy, I would think.
Right. And
But not charge them money to do it. I don't know I'll find wrong with it later, but I can't find anything wrong with it now.
No.
It seems like a great idea, and it seems a little bit past due, to be honest with you.
And with those companies, the scale of the companies, it makes it, it's going to draw more people into their company who want to work there because they get better care for cheaper, and it's going to keep the current employees healthier.
I never realized till I was, a full-on grown-up, and I mean past 40 years old and with children, what a big deal healthcare is.
Yeah.
Like for me, at times it comes time to sign a contract for a radio company, this one or other ones, and they say, we'll pay you $100. And I say, all right, I will do it for $100. That's the end of my thing. That's all I care about. But now I go, okay, $100, and can my kids go to the dentist? Because that stuff can break you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
By the way, my kids never go to the dentist. They got to go to the dentist.
U.S. pilots called in a close call over the Black Sea yesterday, reporting that a Russian fighter jet zipped by in perilous proximity to their Navy surveillance plane.
Did they give him the bird?
Inverted.
Inverted, yeah.
Now, according to this report, they got as close as 5 feet. It was a Russian Su-27 performed an unsafe intercept that lasted about 2 hours and 40 minutes, and it got as close as 5 feet to the American Lockheed EP-3
How do we not shoot this thing out of the sky?
here in
Because we're
international
not allowed.
airspace.
So, just an act of war.
For
You can still
2
do it.
hours, you're 5 feet off my wing. I'm taking you out.
I'm guessing it wasn't for 5 hours.
It wasn't for 5 hours. It wasn't
2
for
hours.
2 hours and 40
It was
minutes
for
that it was
seconds.
that close.
Right? It was for a split second.
Yes.
Yeah.
They
Still don't like it. Shoot him.
Yeah. Sorry, Trump, if that's your buddy, but if a Russian plane's off my wing, I think I'm going to do something.
Well, according to the U.S. aircraft, they were operating in accordance with the international law, did not provoke Russian activity. That's according to the Pentagon. Russia's defense minister.
What does the Pentagon know about rules of
They
engagement?
can't even get out of the Pentagon on just one try because it's all in weird hallways.
Russia's defense ministry pushed back, saying that the jet had been sent to check out an unidentified air target approaching Russian airspace borders.
No, when you're in international airspace, much like international waters, it is international for both parties. Like, are they allowed to be 5 feet off our wing? Did they do anything wrong?
Not in my America. In my America, we make the rules everywhere.
Right. But since you're not in charge, and I don't know why
Yeah,
you're not.
seriously.
But can they do it? Can you do whatever you want unless you hurt the other guy in international airspace?
Well, they said they didn't do anything unsafe. America thought getting that close was a little unsafe.
Yeah.
But as long as you are operating in a safe distance in international
Which
airspace.
5 feet is not.
Hey, the Blue Angels do it all the time.
He's got you there.
Got you there.
Blue Angels shouldn't shoot down other Blue Angels. I'm against that. Let's be clear.
Remember last year, only one of them didn't show up. What's going on there?
Yeah.
After a series of grim discoveries, police in Toronto believe they have a serial killer in custody, one who was able to operate undetected for years because he had a job that was perfect for hiding bodies. Bruce MacArthur, age 66, is a self-employed landscaper. He's been charged with first-degree murder and the deaths of 5 men who disappeared over 5 years. They found at least 3 of the victims were in huge concrete planters at a client's home.
Oh, that'd freak me out for sure.
So this guy...
You go outside and find out Jimmy Hoffa's in your front yard?
Yeah.
Yep.
Great soil, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They believe this man, who at one point also worked as a mall Santa, killed people and then put them...
That should be a tell.
Right. Never trust the mall
If
Santa.
you ever voluntarily are a mall Santa,
Yeah.
you've killed somebody.
Right.
So now they're going to have to try to find all of his clients and look in their planters and find out if there are more people or more remains.
So you have a very expensive and beautiful planter out in front of your house. Finds out there's a dead guy in it. They can get all the pictures with x-rays and everything like that, so you don't have to take the dead guy out. Do you take the dead guy out or do you
Yes.
leave the dead guy in?
No, the dead guy needs to go get buried somewhere
Well,
else.
Are these my prize-winning roses?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm leaving them in there.
Leave the dead guy in, yeah. Something to do. By the way, remember Timmy? He's in there.
Yeah.
I probably shouldn't give him a grown-up name, but you know what I'm saying.
Keurig announced it will buy Dr. Pepper Snapple Group, creating a beverage giant with about $11 billion in annual sales.
Yeah, but are they going to make Dr. Pepper pods so I
That-
can just put the little cup in there?
That would be pretty awesome.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah.
Global brands like Dr. Pepper, 7-Up, Snapple, A&W, Mott's, Sunkist, and Keurig's single-serve coffee makers will all be owned by the same people.
Jeez Louise. A
It's-
lot of beverage.
Yep.
I have to pee just thinking about
it. President Donald Trump is set to deliver his first State of the Union address tonight, but the historic speech has already hit at least one small snare.
What, the man can't tell the truth to save his life?
A reporter for the Washington Examiner took to Twitter yesterday to share a photo of the ticket to the event, which has a spelling error.
I saw that.
Republicans may want
Yeah,
to
it was like State of the Yum or something
It's
like
the
that.
State of the Union.
State of the Yum.
Yep, it's an M instead of an N in the word union.
Making it
Union.
yum.
Now, Donald Trump doesn't type that up. and-
Right.
like, he's not making his own invitations to his State of the Union address, right?
My lovely wife will blame that man for everything and anything.
Yeah.
And I kind of look for shots to give him credit. You know, I just want him to do something right every now and then. He doesn't often help me out. But State of the Yum is not his fault.
Some people are hoping that tonight's State of the Yum Yum will give him a chance to be presidential, and that he.
I
won't
hope
be
he says
snarky.
State of the Yum Yum tonight.
I'll bet you money he can't be presidential tonight.
The State of the
That's the
Yum
hope.
Yum is great.
You know why he can't be presidential for an entire State of the Union address? He can't seem to read, and nor does he seem to be great at memorizing.
Right.
Because like the third time, like you go in the back and say, read this 1,000 times, and then it'll sound great, and it sounds like he never saw it before in his life. So I think it's going to be arduous and sad and embarrassing.
We shall see.
We shall see.
Health officials are investigating after a California store's customer snapped photos of raw meat being delivered in Costco shopping carts. So this isn't just raw meat. This is, you probably are thinking, you know, it's in that little bubble wrap or it's in
Yeah.
a styrofoam. No, this is just slabs of raw meat.
Yeah.
Well, that's weird.
The pictures are pretty gruesome. It's a big shopping cart, and it's like it had gone with them to the slaughterhouse. They put the meat then in the shopping cart and rolled it all into Costco.
Yeah.
And then Costco parts
Packaged
it out. and-
Yeah. So no packaging.
How does it normally get there?
Covered in a box
Was
in
it
plastic.
was it pre-cut or was it like a giant slab and they were cutting into
See, I've got
Giant
in my
slabs.
imagination, I've got it still on the hoof. It's a hind quarter. It's a whole leg and butt and rump.
Yeah, in which case that's what I'm thinking too. I don't think that's rare. I think that's
No, it's
transported.
medium rare.
Right. I don't think you're certainly not shrink wrapping that before you send it to Costco.
Well, first
I think
of all,
what's happening here, Paul's right. I think what's happening is somebody's got a picture of everyday life
Right.
that they're not used to seeing.
Yeah, and that Costco's like, ooh, well maybe we didn't want everybody to see that, but that's how we do it.
I got a friend that works in a slaughterhouse or worked in a slaughterhouse years and years ago. And he said, you know, everybody, city councils and everybody, every year they come by and take a tour, see how you're killed, and they just flip out and they're not the same. And some of them become vegetarians. Somebody goes, it's just our job. It's well on the up and up. Somebody sent a slab of meat to Costco. I'm all right with it.
This was several slabs of meat. They said this is not how we send our products out. They're always in a combo bin and they are wrapped. So imagine if you are a shopper, how you feel knowing where your shopping cart has been.
Well, don't reuse the shopping cart without wiping it down.
I think she's got a point. Who washes the shopping carts? Whose job is that?
No, but see, somebody should.
Have you ever, because I've spent some time there, anybody ever try and buy meat in Mexico?
No.
It's not even refrigerated at the places that I have been. It's just like, and you pull up a piece off the pile, and he holds it, and you go, yeah, that one. He throws that on a scale.
Yeah, and then you cook it. You're fine.
And then flies walking around on it.
Yeah, just cook it. You're fine.
I agree with you.
Don't cook it too long, though.
The fly?
Yeah. No, the steak.
That's rare.
A family was perplexed about why their toilet would just randomly flush on its own.
Oh, ghost.
Yeah,
For sure it's
potty
haunted.
ghost.
Well, of course, you
One
wonder.
famous potty ghost.
When you got a ghost, you got a ghost.
Nice ball.
No, it's awful.
Oh.
An Australian plumber was called to the scene because this was in Australia.
I was going to say, why do you have to get an Australian plumber?
Because their toilet went the other way.
Because their toilet wouldn't go down under.
Well, that plumber then called the snake catcher. It turned out there was a snake in the wall, and he was resting on the flush mechanism, and that's why the toilet kept flushing. What was it? A brown tree snake trapped in the wall flushing the toilet.
Now, was he brown when he got in there? That's what I want to know. Because I hear the yellow tree snake was down there by the urinal.
Police say 2 truck trailers loaded with almost 50 tons of chocolate were stolen in Germany, and there is no sign of the sticky-fingered perpetrators. The trailers had $500,000 worth of chocolate, and somebody stole it. The driver of the vehicle had left the truck for a hot second, and then somebody went and stole the entire vehicle. And they are now looking for these thieves. They don't even have any witnesses. They think they might have gone over the border into France. What do you do with $500,000 worth of chocolate?
Drive your car immediately into a peanut butter truck. That's what I would do. I got that Autobahn, automatic Reese's Pieces.
What happens in Vegas may stay in Vegas.
Yeah,
but
it does, yeah. Well, I didn't stay there, but
Yeah, you did where I told you.
I had a nice weekend.
Well,
And then your wife showed up.
Most of the time, if you're going to misbehave in Vegas, it's actually in Vegas and not on the flight back home. Well, not the case for a couple from Minnesota. They were arrested after the woman put her head under the blanket of the lap of the person next to her. The
Wait,
couple,
was the person next to her her husband or
they're a
someone
couple.
else? Okay.
They're partners.
All right, so far I'm okay with
If
it.
they've ever met. I'm okay with it if they never met.
Yeah. Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
there's-
as long as that person knows what's going on and is okay
Oh,
with
you
it.
know, you can vote.
What if you are the third person in that row?
You look out
I
the
mean,
window a lot.
you're a little jealous,
Yeah.
for sure. You hope. I think you would say, "Is this the line?"
I think you should have taken the whole thing into the head.
They are arrested. They said they were only joking about wanting to join the Mile High Club.
Yeah.
They never actually did too much, but according to flight attendants, they were belligerent and they were all
Here's
over
my
each
question.
other.
If you only do that activity, are you in the Mile High Club? Are you in the half a Mile High Club?
I guess they had been overheard saying they wanted to join it.
I think it counts if you're at
You
if
don't
you're
think you
if
have
you're
to
a mile up in the air
do
and you
the
do
deed?
that. No, well, I guess no.
You're only
I think
doing
it
half
counts.
the deed.
No, it counts.
Really?
Yeah, I think you're doing plenty.
Oh, okay then.
Yeah.
They are facing charges of gross lewdness and lascivious behavior.
Last time Amy and I went to Vegas, we got on the plane, and these people just couldn't wait to be stupid. They
Yeah.
were drunk and loud and going woo-hoo about nothing. I just thought this whole, it was 11 in the morning or whatever time it was. By 4 o'clock in the afternoon, their heads are going to hurt. They're going to be outside the pool at rehab or whatever that pool's called, the Hard Rock. People lose their minds in Vegas.
The fact that you can go in pretty much every casino and get an IV bag to
Yeah.
get over your hangover,
That's
like that
crazy.
tells you something.
Is that factual?
Yeah.
You can get an IV bag?
Yeah,
I
there's
didn't- I didn't-
hydration places that you go into. They hook an IV bag up to you, and you get over your hangover real quick,
Crazy.
and then
What
you
if
go
they
back out and do it again.
Cut out the middleman and fill that bag with booze.
A 19-year-old has broken the previous record for the youngest solo crossing of the Atlantic. That was set back in 2010 by then 22-year-old Katie Spots. This kid has completed his voyage 3,000 miles, 44 days, starting off in the Canary Islands on December 14th, and then rowing his way across
it's a rowboat?
the Atlantic.
It's a rowboat?
It's a custom-built 23-foot boat that has a solar-powered water maker. It's designed to right itself if it capsizes, but you sail and row if there's no wind.
So I don't understand. Is the record that he was young or that he rowed?
The record is he is the youngest person by himself to cross the Atlantic Ocean.
So other people have done it before.
Previously, it was a 22-year-old named Katie Spots. Now he is 19 years old by himself for 44 days sailing across the Atlantic Ocean.
He's not sailing, though.
When
You're
there's
confusing the hell out of me.
I told you, if there's wind, you sail, and if there's no wind, you row. I did. I just said that.
So this guy's, because I've seen these boats before that do it. They're pretty spectacular.
Mm-hmm.
So the record is that he got across the Atlantic Ocean at the age of 19.
Yep.
Not bad.
Youngest
It's scary.
person.
The Atlantic is an unforgiving place.
Yeah.
Super scary and dangerous. And 44 days by yourself? I mean,
That'd be weird.
There's a woman in Florida making news for all the wrong reasons. Brandy Gregory. She could not call 911 after her live-in boyfriend, Patrick Moan, punched her in the ear. He stole her phone. He broke her phone after stealing it, and she doesn't have any arms or toes to use the landline. So she was
He punched her in the ear and she has no arms to defend herself?
Nope.
Well, that guy's a cad and a scoundrel.
Yeah.
Moan said he was tired of taking care of her and having to push her wheelchair everywhere. And finally, cops were called to the scene. He is 6'9", 185 pounds, and was arrested.
Why didn't she kick his ass?
She doesn't have anything to kick with.
She has no legs either?
No.
Because 6'9", 1 whatever, makes him dangerously thin.
Yeah, but and why is he punching her? If he's tired of pushing her wheelchair, just stop pushing her wheelchair and leave.
Or buy a jazzy chair.
Right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, Stephen Hawking, doesn't he use his mouth to get around?
Yes.
Yeah.
Then you just blow in? Never mind.
No, that's how it works.
Yeah, that is how it works.
When we come back, we will have music news, entertainment, and sports, so don't go anywhere.
This traffic report is brought to you by Target Zero in the East Renton Highlands on Highway 900 eastbound at 164th Avenue. We are dealing with an overturned truck that has traffic stopped from 148th Avenue southeast, and it is going to be about a 20-minute delay as you make your way through that area. You can get through on the side streets to avert that. And on I-5 southbound at Columbian Way, we do have the carpool lane currently blocked, causing some delays there as well. Drunk you doesn't make good decisions, so make a plan before you party and make sure to get home safe and sound. Let's reach our Target Zero goal together. 0 traffic deaths in your family, 0 traffic deaths in our state. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
Hey, if you have an elderly parent who would like to live at home, and I most certainly do, you've probably been through the stress of finding good in-home care for them. Well, my mom is 93 years old, and I would be so pleased if ServeWell was in Los Angeles, but they're not. They're here, and you can get them. They are a matchmaking service for senior care in the Puget Sound area, and they will make your life Like my mom just had dental surgery and she's 93 and life is going great. And then one little change in her medications and everybody is panicked. So I'm going to tell you this. If you need quality care in-home for your aging parent, go to servewell.com. Choose your service, choose your caregiver, choose your price for goodness sake. Then let Servewell take care of the rest. Servewell is affordable, much more affordable than home care agencies because they cut out the middleman, costs that don't directly contribute to delivering care to your loved one. Servewell's leadership team, they have over 30 years experience. So whether it's just independent living, grocery shopping, personal care, managing medications, which is a big one, my friends, go to Servewell. Let Servewell help you out and ease your mind. Go to servewell.com.
Starting with some music news. Remember we talked about a blind item that had been posted about a huge band reuniting, working with a legendary producer on a new studio album.
Yeah.
Right.
And we all thought it was who?
Guns N' Roses.
Guns N'
That's what I thought.
Roses. Well, looks like it isn't Guns N' Roses, but it might just be the Smashing Pumpkins.
Oh.
That's fascinating.
I thought that guy was dead.
You
Didn't he post something on the internet the other day that he was?
Well, if he posted on the internet, he's probably joshing.
Yeah, but he was certainly very sick, right? He was in the
Yes.
hospital saying, I hope that I enjoy the final few days or
Yes.
something like that.
That's
And
exactly
he
what
looks
happened.
like he's at death's door all the
Always,
time.
yeah.
Well, he has now posted new pictures and
Nude pictures?
new
Oh, that's
pictures to clear up those concerns about his health.
Yeah.
Because he did all of what you just said.
Right, the concerns that he started.
Yes. The time I have left, I'm making peace with God. It sounded like he was dying.
God, if I had $1 for every time I did that, though, oh man, I got to be dying this time.
I'm
Make my
so
peace
sorry.
With God. Also, I'm sitting in jail. Let me make peace with God.
Yeah.
Also, my dad's gonna hit me. A lot of reasons to make peace with God.
He says it was an IV full of vitamins and homeopathy to assist in getting over the flu. And then he posted pictures of Jimmy Chamberlain, the Pumpkins drummer, inside of Rick Rubin's Malibu recording studio. So doesn't look like GNR. It looks like S&P.
You know what? Good band, but doesn't blow my dress up like Guns N' Roses would.
Yeah. Do you think this was his cry for help for the rest of the band to reach out to him? He wants to record new music, so he puts up something about him dying.
Oh, maybe.
All his bandmates all call him, and they're like, "Man, are you really dying?" And he goes, "No, you want to get in the studio?"
You know, my friend David Cassidy recently actually died, and not everybody called, to my great surprise.
really?
Yeah. It won't always. Don't plan your own death there, Paul, thinking,
We'll get the band back
everybody's
together.
going to see how much they care about me.
Yeah.
It's like planning to come to your own funeral. With those stories, it usually goes well. Imagine if it doesn't.
Yeah.
You're sitting there hiding behind a palm tree or some such thing, and 3 people show up, and they loogie on you.
Oh.
See? Sad.
Primus have announced a 2-month tour of the United States. They will be joined on the road by new Grammy winners Mastodon. They will be starting their tour in May, Red Rocks in Colorado, with a date here in Seattle, June 22nd, Primus and Mastodon playing at Marymore Park.
Is this them?
This is Primus. Isn't Mastodon like a pretty heavy metal
They're heavy,
group?
yeah.
Are they this kind of metal? Like that?
A little more melodic than that. They have a
So
couple
they
different
harmonize.
singers.
That. Let's do it. Then he goes.
Ready?
Yeah, just like that.
We should start a band.
That was
We
beautiful.
should. Yeah.
Derek, can you find us some Mastodon?
Yeah, let me grab some.
I forget the name of the song that they just won the Grammy for.
Oh, is it this one?
You know what else is very popular these days is the Tibetan monk throat singing.
Wow,
We
the two of you should start a band.
We should.
All right, here's a little Mastodon.
Ah,
That sounds like a song. Totally different.
Do you see what I'm saying? Though it's a little more melodic.
Than what we were doing?
Yeah.
Yes, I see what you mean.
I wouldn't call that metal. I'd call it crap, but I wouldn't call it metal.
Bite your tongue.
I don't know that I would call it. It's not my cup of tea because it's not tea, but in general, it seems nice.
They've got some good songs, and some of them are harder. They have more than one singer, but some of the songs are certainly more hard than this one.
And they're great live. I've seen Mastodon, I think, 3 times.
Well, no, I definitely don't like him if it's a band that Derek regularly goes to see live.
I poke a lot of fun at him, but he's got good taste in music.
Actually,
Insane Clown Posse, I think, is one of them.
I made Mastodon rather angry, so I met the guys in a bar, and I told them one of my favorite songs they've ever done is a song they wrote for a cartoon movie called Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Yeah.
And they didn't think that was very amusing that my favorite song of theirs was a cartoon movie song.
But Aqua Teen, that was a great show.
Yeah, they did the song for the very end. They had a movie that was out in theaters, and the very beginning of the movie is like a fake oldie-timey jingle about like going to the concession stand to get your snacks, and then it just goes
Let's all
into
go
a
to the
crazy,
snack bar. Let's
yeah,
all
but it
go
went
to the
into a
snack bar.
crazy metal riff about like turn your phone off, no crying babies, we'll throw it in the street, run it over with a car, like that kind of stuff.
The baby
Okay.
or the phone? Which one are you running
Both.
over with the Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it
like
was-
them now.
it was
Crying
metal.
Babies, come on.
Super metal.
I think the Mother Load is my favorite Mastodon song.
All right.
Me and Derek having music in common. Should I be
There
a
you
little
go.
worried?
Yes.
No, Derek should be worried.
Derek, where were you yesterday to help me defend Kendrick Lamar? Who
Don't
these
you
guys
listen to
hate?
this show? He was at the Grammys because he was nominated for Best Kazoo while playing naked in the rain.
Yeah, I'm about to collab on Kendrick's new album. He really wants my kazoo on there.
You're too busy for the Erate collab. Erate, you have
Yo,
to
it's
say
all
collab.
about collab now.
I hate young people.
Customers flocked to a Texas business for one last time to say goodbye to a beloved local institution, the last Blockbuster video store in the state.
Oh, that's kind of sad, to be honest.
It's located in Edinburgh, and it is officially closed. And it, of course, was a very popular place. Some of the people in the town said they met there, got married, now have children together. But no more Blockbusters in Texas, which leaves only 8 remaining Blockbuster stores in the U.S. of A.
All in Alaska?
1 in Bend, Oregon. The others are in Alaska.
Oh, yeah.
Why?
They don't have enough bandwidth for streaming movies. So it's like nobody has Netflix and Hulu and stuff
Nobody
like
has
that.
cable?
I don't know that a lot of them have cable, but certainly if you want to see movies, new movies, you've got to go to the few movie
Wow, that's
theaters,
crazy.
or you've got to go to your Blockbuster.
Yeah, and we're so used to internet.
Don't we own radio stations in Alaska?
We do, yeah.
I'm going to go up there and do a couple of shifts to see what's going on.
Check out the Blockbuster.
Check out the Blockbuster.
But we're also used to just having internet everywhere. And in Alaska, as Paul said, there's just not enough bandwidth for streaming.
You know what? If they start having bandwidth, they're going to have to change their whole vibe of we're criminals in hiding.
If everybody has Wi-Fi. Yeah. Well, we know what Danny's doing with his $1,000. He's going to go up to Alaska and check out
There
the
you go.
Blockbuster.
All right. It costs less than that. You'd actually have change left over from $1,000.
Well, you got to rent some movies. So good thing you have the change.
Hamilton, the 11-time Tony Award-winning Broadway musical hit, is heading to Seattle, February 6th to March 18th, the Paramount Theater. Now, they did have packages for about $233 to $729, but tickets are no longer available.
What kind of package for all that money?
It's special seating. A lot of times you get to meet people. They're all sold out.
Yeah.
So it doesn't even matter what they were offering because they're all gone.
All the dates here in Seattle are already sold out?
Yes.
Wow.
However,
Who do we know that got tickets early?
Would that be you,
That
Danny
would be me,
Bonadici?
going to a matinee.
Awesome.
I love matinees.
How much did you pay the $233?
No,
bucks,
I don't
or-
know what we pay, but she would never pay that kind of crazy fee.
Yeah.
well, you will be able to get involved with seeing Hamilton despite the fact that the shows are sold out. They have just announced a lottery will give dozens of lucky people the chance to see Hamilton for $10. 40 orchestra tickets will be sold for every performance for $10 each.
Every single performance is selling tickets for $10.
Yep.
Wow. And it's not $10 to buy a lottery ticket and then you hope to win a ticket?
Nope.
How do you get involved in the lottery?
It's an app you can download on your phone, or you can register online. And the digital lottery will open at 11 a.m. Sunday, February 4th. And then each lottery will resume 2 days prior to each performance.
So there aren't 40 tickets on sale for $10 for the lottery. There's hundreds of tickets.
Right.
40 per performance?
It's per performance.
In the what is it called? In the what section?
Orchestra
section. I didn't know. Like I go to the theater, I don't know how many tickets are even in the orchestra section. Seems like a lot of them are going to go for $10 every show.
They wound up doing this on purpose, holding back a set amount of tickets so that they can give people who can't afford the regular price or who didn't get involved quickly enough to take advantage of this special deal. So
That's
$10.
super cool of them.
Yeah. So starting on the 4th, Paul, you and I can register for the lottery since Danny's already got his tickets.
Right. I think I will be doing that.
And I think they're probably about $150 a ticket, man.
Crazy.
They weren't
For me, $10.
Woohoo!
Let's see how that goes.
Now-
Although how long are they here? How many days?
February 6th through March 18th.
How many days is that? So let's just make it 30 days.
Yeah.
So there's 1,400 tickets available for $10 each. That's pretty good. You have a good chance of getting those tickets.
Yeah. Hopefully I get a pair, right? I don't want to go by myself.
I don't know how the lottery is going to work if you are allowed to buy 2 tickets.
Yeah.
You might have to go by yourself, Paul.
I'd still do it.
I would too. Gordon Ramsay has revealed that he felt forced to get into shape after fearing his wife would leave him over his weight gain. He is now 51. Gordon Ramsay says he was fat. He was 250 pounds, but he decided to get into shape and shed 56 pounds in order to hold on to his marriage. He said in an interview, Tana, his wife, was not impressed with the way I was. I was overweight, 250 pounds. I look like a sack of you know what. I look at pictures and think, how did Tana stay around?
Man, you combine being obese with a terrible personality.
Right?
How do you hang on to a wife?
Oh, I like the guy.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, it figures you
he's
do.
fun.
He said he slimmed down via military-style regime under the direction of a former Army captain. He is now 192 pounds. He does Ironman competitions with his wife that includes a 1.2-mile swim, a 56-mile bike ride, and a 13.1-mile run. And it has helped to rejuvenate his marriage. He says he now knows he can be around for his kids and that his dad had a heart attack at age 53 and he did not want to follow in his footsteps.
All right, well, good for you. I always think of him just being unpleasant, not caring what he looks like or sounds like.
Me too.
And he was on, were we together in Philly or was this another time when I was there, when he was on the show?
I think he was on with us.
And he was relatively pleasant. We got into a bit. I think he thought I was going after him, and I wasn't. I was just kind of hip to his personality. And then he seemed fine.
Yeah. The cast of Big Brother Celebrity Edition has been revealed, and the house guests include Omarosa, Brandy Glanville, Real Housewife, Melissa Winokur from Broadway, Keisha Knight Pulliam from The Cosby Show, Chuck Liddell, who punched Danny Bonaducci.
Yeah, he did.
Meta World Peace.
He
Ron
punched other
Artest.
people too, but that's the most famous person.
That's the
he ever
one.
punched.
It's the one that directly related to my face.
Yeah.
Mark McGrath, former singer of Sugar Ray. Those are just some of the people who
$5 says Liddell punches him in the face.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, this is the very first ever U.S. celebrity edition of Big Brother.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I thought every year there was one.
I've not seen a celebrity Big Brother. They've done Big Brother All Stars where they brought back former cast members. But
They
I
do
haven't
it
seen
in the
celebrity.
UK.
Yeah.
The celebrity
They
one.
do it in Australia. I'm well aware of that one.
Yeah.
But this will be the first, and it will be airing 2.5 weeks, starting Sunday, February 24th. Or no, sorry, Wednesday, February 7th. The finale is Sunday, February 24th. Tom Hanks has his next role. He will be playing Mr. Rogers. I was waiting for your sound effect.
That's all not me, by the way.
But it sums up how you feel about it.
And not because Tom Hanks isn't the greatest actor and not because Mr. Rogers wasn't a sweetie. But I just don't think those two things go together. I think you're going to be, for 2 hours and 6 minutes, you're going to be staring at Tom Hanks doing an impression going, oh, pretty good. Or, not that good, really. But I don't think you're going to be just kicking back, getting the movie.
Too distracting because
Yep.
he's so well known.
Right. Both of them are so well known.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at sports.
Sports
Brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys. If you're facing a DUI, call 1-800-DUI-AWAY, 1-800-DUI-AWAY. The kid's kid is getting a shot with the Pittsburgh Steelers. They have signed wide receiver Trey Griffey, the son of Baseball Hall of Famer Ken Griffey Jr., to a reserve futures contract. He is 24 years old, did spend a little time with Indianapolis and Miami last summer before being cut at the end of training camp, but getting another chance with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
It'd be nice
Good
to have
luck.
on your team, for moral support or whatever.
And Kraft Foods has announced they will be featuring real life families in their upcoming Super Bowl commercials. They are asking families starting at 3 o'clock in the morning on game day to share photos and videos of their family by using hashtag #FamilyGreatly or hashtag #CraftEntry, and you could be featured in the Super Bowl commercial.
And what are you supposed to be eating mac and cheese or what?
They want to focus on families sharing meals together. I'm going to guess if it's Kraft mac and cheese, you might have a leg up.
Yeah. I know what Jellybean and I are doing for breakfast on Super Bowl Sunday.
Although if you have a nice spread like I can imagine Paul and Paul's family having, and you put the Kraft mac and cheese in the center, the fact that it's fluorescent orange is going to stand out.
Yeah.
You're going to look at that thing and go, one of these things is not nutritious.
A lot of people, including you guys, have mocked the Pro Bowl, but...
Well, I didn't understand it until Paul told me. Now I mock it.
Yeah, because it's essentially flag football without the entertaining aspect of pulling a flag.
Well, that's one of the criticisms is it lacks competitiveness, it's watered down,
Yeah.
there's not enough action.
Right.
Well, y'all are wrong because it saw a 28% rise in viewership this year.
I don't know if that makes us wrong.
Well, people who complain about it tend not to watch it.
Sure.
There
I've
are
never seen
fewer
it.
people complaining about it than we think.
28% increase is insane.
Yep.
What did they change?
Maybe the location?
Yeah, that is what changed. They went from Hawaii to Orlando, but
Yeah, I could see that shooting it through the roof.
right. Because I think that it's been going down every year for it to spring up. I mean, if it said, if you said it was a 2.8% increase, okay, no big deal. But 28% increase, did we miss some giant halftime show that we didn't know about?
It was the 7 Seahawks players.
That must have been it. Yeah.
All right.
And the Los Angeles Clippers have agreed to trade all-star forward Blake Griffin to the Detroit Pistons. He is a very, very good basketball player, well-known, seemingly well-liked, but he's been dating one of the Kardashians. Well, technically, she's a Jenner. Which one is the model?
Kylie?
Kendall's the model.
Kendall's a super hot model.
So Kendall has been dating Blake Griffin, and now he's moving to Detroit. Think that relationship's going to last?
I think that'll be just fine.
Yeah.
And in hockey news, Jaromir Jagr has cleared waivers and has been assigned to HC Kladno of Czech Liga in the Czech Republic.
Is that the retirement league? Because he's like 70, right?
He's 45.
That's
and
pretty
he'd
old.
been playing with the Calgary
He used
Flames.
to be a runner. Now he's a Yager. He got old.
Jaromir Jagr, future Hall of Famer,
Yeah.
has played in 1,733 games over the course of 24 seasons. His points are just second, right behind Wayne Gretzky. So goals just behind Wayne Gretzky and Gordie
I
Howe.
thought this was a soccer story.
Oh, he should have played another season then.
I was
right?
hoping he'd play another season. Nobody picked him up, so he is going to play for his home country one last season and then actually retire. And David Beckham was in Miami yesterday to officially launch the city's Major League Soccer franchise. This has been rumored for a while. It is now official. Miami is getting an expansion team, and David Beckham will be its owner.
I think that'll fly in Miami. I think that'll be a good idea.
Yeah.
That was part of his deal. So he was the first like giant superstar to come to the MLS. And part of his deal was after you retire, you get a piece of a team.
Yep.
And they're just now working it out. Well, over the last few years, they've been working it out. And now the team's going to launch. But that was like, can you imagine signing a contract where, hey, we're going to give you millions and millions of dollars. And once you're done playing, we'll just give you a piece of one of the teams.
Oh, I have 4 more years on my contract, and then I get a radio
And then you get a radio
station.
station.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
that's awesome.
Power 93. That's fun. You can have that. 4 years.
Believe it or not, David Beckham is the first former MLS player to own a team.
I do believe it.
Makes it a lot easier when they just give you one.
It does.
Tomorrow night, WSU will take on Arizona. Tip-off is at 7, and on Thursday, UW will face Arizona State. Tip-off is 8, and that's a look at your sports brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys at 1-800-DUIOA.
You know who will give you a good tip-off?
Yes, I do.
Not even sure what I was going to say now. That'll be my friend Steve Slayton,
Yeah.
who's going to walk in this room any second now, and he's going to play you a whole mess of classic rock, because that's just what he likes to do. We will get out of his way. Bye.
This traffic report is brought to you by Sherry's Restaurants in Bellevue on I-405 northbound at I-90. Seeing some stop and go traffic all the way from 167.